Yay! We're here. Oh, I was getting really carried away then because obviously I was playing the game and it was good fun and it was great and I loved every minute of it and I'll do it again later. But my camera is deciding it's going to do other things. It's because my camera's like that. It has a brain of its own, which is vastly annoying. So anyway, wow, we've got some interesting stuff. Yeah, so who we got? We got Sarah, hello. World of Memes, hello. Matthew again, hello. The Ginny Gin, hello. Martin, hello. Coming in from the other stream that I just did. Let me just stick on Discord because there are people in Discord, which I will say hello to. Hello, Discord. Oh, well, I was going to show you these mystery boxes or whatever they're called, but I've used them all. I opened them earlier and I got I've got a few credits and I got some gold and that's about it really. I got a lot of premium time. I've opened some yesterday on my Asian account and I got a tank. I got it twice. It was the Churchill, so not the best. Let's be honest, not the best. And as you can see, I haven't got any left, so I can't open them to show them. But so far, oh look, I finished. Yay! I finished it. Affirmative. Congratulations! I've got a new background. Nice, jolly good. So yeah, that was. Hang on a minute. Let me stick this on because people are listening to people. And let me just take the noise down on this so we don't have interference. So hopefully we can hear people on the Discord. So who's on Discord? I got Maddox here. We got Just Cuddable Me. Matthew is jumping in. Riveri is there. So we've got a few people. But
good day, man.
Good day. How you doing, guys? So without further ado, let's get some of the stuff out of the way first. Before we deal with today's hot topic. So congratulations to Mercy. They played really well yesterday. Let's be fair. That final game was pretty good. They were pretty dominant. They really hurt Gucci game. But it was the first time the CIS server has actually been streamed in English for tournaments, and it was a privilege. I mean, I was working with as commentator. Every Good Name Is Taken, and he was fantastic. And we had Wild Ones Halper and Aminet as analytics, and they were fantastic too. And of course the hosts, Darth Antonius, aka Tony, and Alexandra, well, they're just always fantastic. So it was really good. I really enjoyed it. So it was great to be able to see some of the interesting meta picks that these guys use on RU, and certainly some of the tactics. I mean, they're a very aggressive server, to be fair, and they didn't let us down. I mean, Friday, people were shocked. 7-star went out. I'm still blaming Wild Ones Halper for that, but hey.
Yeah, someone needs to prevent him from going to any casino from now on.
Because he did the same with Asia. He predicted that Feast would win and they went out on the first day, and he predicted that 7-star would win and they went out on the first day. But boy, I mean, it was fantastic to watch. We saw one game where they took 4 AMX-50Bs on Middleburg. I mean, that's just brilliant. And on Desert Sands, one of the teams, I think it was Mercy, I can't remember now, or C4, took 2 mouses into the desert. I mean, wow, it was just brilliant to watch. You know, it's very good use of their meta to be. Oh, I hate it because it's a mirror. It's very good, very interesting games that they play, and it was hilarious to watch. It just took us completely by surprise. So well done to Mercy, and those of you who watched it, don't ask me for keys, okay? I haven't got any keys. Me myself. I mean, I watched it on my EU account yesterday, and I got the keys today. So you will get them. You will get them. It just takes time. So, but don't ask me for keys. I haven't got any bloody keys.
Yeah, like just saying, like, if you don't get the keys, don't ask the YouTube chat.
There's no point asking me.
No one in the chat is Wargaming's employee.
Absolutely. But there's no point asking me for keys. I haven't got any bloody keys to give away. I had 275 when I looked on Asia last week, but Wargaming took them all away. Bless them. Okay then, so without further ado, let's get into it. So, massive announcement yesterday. ATGMs. Just the missiles, they're gone as of 7.5. That's it. It's over. It's done with. Now, a couple of things you need to remember. One, if you've already got the Sheridan in your garage before 7.5, and it literally must be quite it's got to be before 7.5 days, then you will be given a free tank, which is another Sheridan, but you can only use it, and it will have missiles, but you can only use it in the fun modes, like gravity mode, mad games. I don't think you can use it in realistic. You certainly can't use it in skirmish. And uprising. Can you use it in realistic, can you?
Anything but skirmish.
Oh, it's just skirmish. Oh, there you go. So you can't...
That's why.
That's probably right. So you can't use it in any normal game mode apart. You just can't do it. And you can use it in all the other game modes apart from. Now, I'll get to everybody else. Now.
Yeah,
No.
Fugit,
Yeah.
does it actually stand for T92 as well, E1?
The T92 is also having its missiles removed, yes, but you won't get a replacement T92, is my understanding. You'll just get the replacement Sheridan.
Yeah, that's correct. If you have the Sheridan, then you'll have. They're going to give you the collector. Sheridan.
Yeah.
Which has the ATGM, and you'll be also given the normal Sheridan, which doesn't have the ATGM.
Absolutely.
And about the T92U1, you won't be given any new tank. It's only the T92U1 with the removed ATGM.
Correct. That's my understanding as well. Yes. Now the Sheridan. Sorry, go on.
That's a bit of bump up. That's a bit of bummer for someone who just grinded a Sheridan.
Yes and no. I mean, they're not losing the tank, to be fair, and they're not losing the missile. They'll still have the missile, but they won't be able to play it in normal game mode. Simple as that. But I mean, a couple of things. One, I mean, I've said for a long time that they were never going to remove the tanks. That was never going to happen. But they needed to do something with removing its ability to shoot without breaking cover, or the ability to throw things over rocks. And I suggested, keep the missiles but make them line of sight, meaning that the tank had to stay on target and you couldn't throw it over rocks and stuff. It couldn't be as guided as it was. They've kind of done something like that. Basically, they're replacing the missile heat with a standard heat shell. So now it is going to be, you're going to have to break cover, and it's going to be like using your APCR. So you're still going to get a pretty good tank, but this time it's not going to be a question of I can sit behind a rock and smack you, because you can't.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, and a couple of things you need to remember on this. People said to me that, Wargaming did this survey, they're not going to listen to the community. They did. Okay, they took a long time. Yes, they did. And the reason they take a long time is because you have to appreciate, according to their data, these are really that these tanks are played a lot. And rightly so, because they're dangerous tanks. So they were scratching their heads as a company, saying, well, why is there so much hatred towards them when everybody's playing them? Which in the end ended up being a survey, and the survey unanimously said, basically, we don't like missiles. We like the tanks, but we don't like the missiles. And Wargaming, okay, they dragged their feet a little bit, but they finally listened, and they did basically put into action what the survey and the community said, which was remove the missiles. So it's not like they don't listen, guys. They do listen. It just takes some time.
And that, it's just way too long.
It was too long. It was too long. It was too long.
All we can hope is that people who left the game just for
Just
the
because of the
ATGM,
misses.
they would come back again.
Well, that would be nice if they did come back. To be honest with you, I mean, one person who may be coming back, and fingers crossed, is the man, the myth, the legend that is Rolling Swarm, because he obviously sort of left. He didn't leave the game, but he sort of left the game because of the debacle over missiles. That is now gone. So I've heard a few rumblings from the man himself that he is firing up his iPad. So we may see one of our the most favourite tournament commentator on a comeback, which may put me out of a job. But there you go. These things do happen. Yeah.
I think we should
Think we should what?
trades.
Do what?
Talking about trades.
What about them?
The mystery.
Yeah.
So we're sounding like that you have a chance, but the chance of getting 1,000 gold is bullshit.
Well, it isn't. It isn't. I know somebody. I think it's in Feast. Actually, I can't remember. But I know somebody. Or wasn't it in Feast?
No, I think it's
But I know somebody on Asia who got 100,000 gold and then opened the next box and got another 100,000 gold. So it does happen. It's very rare. It's very, very rare. But somebody did get it.
Well, I opened it up and I've got one mystery certificate. I
Mm-hmm.
opened it up, and what did I get? Roses.
Lots of Sherman, yeah.
Actually good.
The Lots of Sherman. I mean, it's okay. It's not a great tank.
Well, it's welcome to us.
But it's not an easy tank to get, the Loza Sherman. And if you don't like it, you can always sell it and you get some gold for it, I believe.
I know that's a pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Premium will only get you credits.
Oh, it only gets credits. There you go then.
But I'm glad that I got something. Not that too.
Well, let me just deal with the crate scenario. A couple of things, guys. Firstly, a lot of people misunderstand crates. The write-up that you get, which is percentage this, percentage that, don't look at it. Just look at it in this way. If a crate says the tank drop rate is, say, like it was with the Scorpion G, 2% back in the day, then just realise that don't look at the 2%. Look at the 98% chance you're not going to get it. Now, 98% chance of not getting the tank means that the chance of you getting a tank is really slim. Okay, it's that straightforward, and it's the same with the other tanks. If you look at it not in, it's 5% drop chance. If you look at it and it's a 95% chance I'm not going to get the tank, it means you're not. The chances are stacked against you, guys. It really is stacked against you. Which is why I always say, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. It's up to you how you spend your money. But be careful with crates, okay? Set yourself a limit, because the chances of you getting what you want are against you. Very much against you, to be honest with you. And, I mean, I bought a load of drop boxes for this mystery stuff, and I didn't get 100,000 credits, and I didn't get 100,000 gold. I didn't get 1,000,000 credits, and I didn't get any decent tanks. I got a Churchill twice, which was nice, lovely, and I got a lot of premium time, which I clearly need. I did get some gold. I did get some credits, but not much, to be fair. But some people have got some guys have got. I mean, Todd Joe here got the Progetto from a crate yesterday, which is nice. Some guys, I know Meadsy got something good from one of these Dropbox crates. So
I got the Action 10 and the Smasher.
there you go. Amunet got the what did Amunet get? She got the what's the? I've just played it as well. the
Fugit, I don't know about the other guys, but what I felt is that with the watching your stream and also playing for last few weeks, I got these the autumn season logbox and
Yeah.
the keys.
yeah.
I was finally able to get the FCM 50T. So I know there's a lot of flank against Wargaming, but
Mhm.
this is all free tank, and I really like the tank. So
Mhm.
it's a matter of getting things done, I guess. So when did we get a free tank last time?
Mm-hmm. Well, exactly. Oh, Yusuf's just saying there. Speed, who's normally in our countdowns, he got 100,000 gold and a T22. So it does happen. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen to me.
I also got 2 new tanks for you.
Oh, there you go. Look, Vermelia got some tanks.
Got
What-
a Fucky Tier 6 Fury that I never play.
€100 tank, you know, easy.
Yeah, and I got the AMX 30 corner. So that AMX is pretty good.
The AMX is good. Yeah, it is a good tank. So, you know, it can be done. It can be done. But seriously, guys, I mean, don't look at it, it's a 5% drop chance or whatever. Look at it as there's 95% chance I'm not going to get it. that's the way you need to look at them. Seriously. Because the odds are against you. Really against you.
Fugit,
Yeah, mate.
there's one. Wait, which is that? I think there was one crate with the summons. You had a 20% that Fugit, and the rest of the percentage is when you get the gold price of this crate. So it's like you find only one crate. You find them. With this one, it was about
You keep breaking up, mate.
have a chance, and you have a chance you can get like 1 out of 4.
Mm-hmm.
You can get one pretty good. This is the only crate which I would probably buy, but I didn't. It's terrible.
Yeah, but the thing is, you've got to remember, crates, it's a lucky dip. There is absolutely zero guarantee. There is a guarantee you will get something, but it may not be what you want. And that something may be avatars, boosters, or premium time. But the chances are you're not going to be getting what you want. Some people are very lucky. I know people who've bought 2 crates for, say, a T22, and the T22's dropped in the first crate. And I know and I know people who've been incredibly unlucky and have to spend €100 on getting a tank because they have to get it from the charms. It really is hit and miss, and it's a lucky dip. And I say to everybody, if you've got the money and you've got the gold, then and you want to try your luck, nobody can tell you otherwise. But you know, be realistic about it. The chances of you getting what you want are stacked totally against you. But you may be lucky. Matthew was lucky. He got a T22 in the first box.
Well, I got the MCT twice from the Globe when
Absolutely.
15,000 gold, and then I spent those gold for the boxes on the T22 and the Smasher, and I got both.
Let me just see if there's. I don't think there's any crates in the store at the moment because I've used it.
There are actually Fugit mystery boxes.
No, I've used it. I bought it. So I haven't got any crates in my store at the moment, which is a shame because I can't show you. But
You can see on the offers, I think.
no, it's gone. They're gone. They're not in my store anymore because I bought them earlier today and did it on stream and opened them. So, but they're not. So they're not there now. So I can't tell you what the drop rate actually is, and I don't.
Yep.
And I don't think I've got. Oh, I have. I've got a container. I've got a container. Yeah. So I've got an autumn season lockbox, and we'll go through this one. So it can have a Progetto M35 mod 46, and it's a 1% drop chance. That means there's 99% chance I'm not going to get that tank. Simple as that.
You do get parts for FCM or
Yeah,
LEKPs.
correct. So, and then it says the avatar are camouflage with a 33% drop chance, which means, again, I've got 76%. Or is it 76 or 66? I can't remember. 66%. Or 67% chance of me not getting that as well. So I've got some keys. So let's open an autumn season lockbox and see what I get. See how lucky I can be. Boosters, certificate, and premium account. I've got one more, so let's open that. So remember, the odds are stacked against me here. Certificate, gold, premium account. So no tank. But there's only 99% chance of me getting that tank. It's incredibly rare, guys. Now, you know, you need 100 certificates to get the FCM. You need 100 to get the M41. So it ain't easy, is what I'm saying. So you have to look at these things realistically. It's not easy to get these tanks, but this is the thing. I mean, it's a risk. You may get it, you may not. That's as simple as that.
Well, like I always said, if you want to buy crates, you need to set a limit for yourself.
You do need to set a limit. Absolutely, you need to set a limit. Now, you know, I personally don't like crates, but they're here to stay until the law changes. The reason I don't like them is because it entices people to keep spending until they get what they want, and then they get all annoyed because it took them a lot to get what they want. So, hey, Inman. So that's the reason I don't like crates. Thankfully, Wargaming did do the right thing and start putting charms onto the tanks. So in certain cases, you didn't have to spend a lot of, you know, you were guaranteed the tank if you got 25 charms. In a lot of cases, that's still $100. So, you know, it's big, man. It's big. So at your risk, play crates. At your risk. What's the theme today, Inman? Well, there's only one, but we were just dealing with crates, but the main topic that I'm sure is burning a hole in everybody is the removal of missiles. So what does everybody think? Because I can foresee people hating on this. It's the devil you do and the devil you don't. There are going to be people who are going to be annoyed that the missiles are going, and there are going to be people who are annoyed if they were staying. So,
if anything, I am happy that I can still play the game in peace again.
Yeah, I understand the point, but the problem is when you look at T49, people just said T49 was OP, and then look at the nerf. Now, if you, nowadays if you have a run a T49 and if you don't get out, or if you survive, it's a big thing.
yeah, but the T40, I mean, for me, the T49 was never OP. To be fair, what the difference between, I mean, don't misunderstand me. I have a bigger problem with the T92 than I do with the Sheridan.
Oh yeah, same.
Because the T92 for me had everything you could ever want in a tank. It had fire and forget missiles. It had an insanely derpy gun. It had armor. It had mobility. It had the spotting range of a gazelle. I mean, this thing was just mad, and it still is mad to an extent. More madder than the Sheridan. The Sheridan is a bigger tank. The T92 is a very small, compact tank. The Sheridan is a bigger tank. It's got a big fat arse that you can smack. So,
The way it's currently going, I feel like K9 is becoming the next K7. Amount of mildly overpowered tanks running around. Like you have the T92 E1, you have the Vickers CR,
The 92 is going.
Well, Innerman makes a good
CR,
point.
They're going to address it. Like I know they're trying to nerf the Emil, the tier 7, the tier 8,
I
because that
personally don't
thing
have any
has a
issues.
really good stat. Like if you look at the stats for the Emil, like that thing, it has almost 1k more average damage per game than the rest of the tier
Well,
8
the only one
attacks.
that doesn't actually have a problem with it.
Well, I don't have any problem with it. I'm just stating the fact, the obvious fact that that thing has 1,000 more average damage than the rest of the tank at tier 8.
I don't think anybody has a problem with the Emil 1. I mean, it's broken. It's simple as that. And if you look at the statistics on the Emil 1, it's head and shoulders the best tank in tier 8 at the moment.
Yeah.
Head and
That's what I'm
shoulders.
saying. And Wargaming
really-
likes to nerf and buff tanks based on the performance they are doing.
I have a key, and I got Jack. Amazing.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Emil is due for a nerf. I wouldn't be surprised if the Vickers is also due for a nerf.
I hope so.
I mean, I think both of those are due for nerfs because the Vickers, again, if you look at the data, is head and shoulders above all the tanks in tier 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, its view range and its armor and its reload is insane, realistically. So it will get a nerf, but the
armor, like,
exactly.
what the fuck is that?
Now the chances are they're going to nerf the armor more than anything else to make it a true light tank. And
I'm
the
fine with the gun that it has.
and the
But
ch-
then once you've had a PC,
But you can still argue T20 to medium for that same case, right?
the T22 medium. Well, no, I mean that's got spaced armor and that's a medium tank. The Vickers is a light tank, and light tanks by their very nature are meant to be smacked by HE.
looking at you, Shagadan.
I never got to why the reason why people say T22 is over there. I never had any problems with those.
I mean, it's an IS-7 with medium mobility. And
But the
that's
front is
actually
weak
done on
though.
that
If
tank.
you like, the front is weak. You cannot really angle those things. Like if it's reverse side scraping, then yeah, you're screwed. But there's also a part just below the engine that you
Which
can
fucking medium
shoot.
can reverse side scrape?
I know the M46, 48 can.
Which one?
I did it. M48.
Those might be
specific
specific circumstances. But when I run
I
the
bought
E100,
7k in the M48. Side scraping
know,
on
man.
most scores.
but when you run a E100 against a T22, you always bound to get bounces. I don't know why.
The E100's penetration isn't that great. That's why.
It's the same as the E5. It's the same as the FV215B.
Yeah, but
T7.
then the thing is, this is what you have to remember about the spaced armor. The top gun on the E100 is heat. Okay.
Well, if you're firing Prem, then yeah.
If you're firing heat into a T22, it's no different to firing heat into an IS4 side or an IS7 side. The spaced armor will dissipate it, and you'll do nothing really. And therein lies the problem.
But Fugit, for sure it has everywhere a lot of tank space on. You won't even
The turret doesn't have, the lower plate in the front doesn't have, the rear lower plate doesn't have. Those three spots you can shoot easily.
Yeah. That is what I was trying to get at. Like, when you look at the CIS region, especially the Fugit stream, like you can see a lot of CIS streams ran T22 medium, as Linux can say that. Asia, we didn't see any T22 mediums like that. So there must be a reason why it shows that.
Well, yes and no.
Because out of all of the tier 10 medium, like the Russian style medium tank, like that has the most survivability out of all of them, except for the Object 140 in certain circumstances. Because if you look at the front armor plate, the Object 140 is actually stronger than the T22.
Yeah, but you have to be careful when you try and compare servers. I mean, again, not being funny, I've never seen any server roll out quadruple AMX 50Bs on Middleburg, ever.
Oh, I have.
Lucky you. I saw it last night for the first time.
Top gameplay.
Absolutely, for top gameplay. Yeah, I mean, and not just top gameplay. I mean, this is the grand finals that we're talking about, and they rolled out four AMX 50Bs and 2 Progettos. I mean, this is just madness, or so you would think, but they won. And again, I've never seen a team roll out 2 mouses and take them to the desert on desert sands. But boy, what a strap! What a strap that was, though. And so you can't compare the servers like that. I mean, the Russian server is renowned for being ultra aggressive, and you can be aggressive in a T22. You can be, but the thing is, when you're dealing with the pro players, these guys know where to hurt and hit a T22. And a lot of the problems with the T22 that people face is that when you're playing it in random gameplay, okay, some of your team is not going to be used to playing, or not good at playing that tier, and they struggle to pen the T22. However, the T22 is not as bad as it first was when it first came out. A lot of people can defeat it now.
Well, yes, because in the meantime, other tanks got buffed. The heavy tanks got their armor back, the mediums got their
No,
DPM back.
they haven't buffed any heavy armor. They only buffed the HP.
Yeah, they've only increased the HP. They haven't changed the penetration values or the damage output, really. I mean, it's only the HP that's changed. So you know, and the tank that was failing to pen the T22 before the HP buff is still going to be a tank that's going to fail to pen the T22. It just depends where you hit
They
it.
have more opportunities to tank.
Yeah, but it's like the IS4. I mean, the IS4, people struggle to pen that, and they struggle to pen it because some people just, not being
Don't know where
funny,
to shoot.
don't know where to shoot it, and it's the same with the T22. Or they take the
T22 has spaced armor. It's so unpredictable.
correct, it does.
Yeah,
But-
exactly. And
but-
that's what no other tanks had it. While the Vickers and the Sheridan, basically the same thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's the point.
T22,
right?
you know what I mean. He can reverse strike straight and shit, but it's just the idea, you know, because people.
Yeah, it's the same thing like a Sheridan, right? Sheridan is running. You try to put a HE in the back, and then you still get a bounce on the Sheridan.
You will do because it's
Even
spaced
if-
armor.
That's right. So that's a bit annoying, isn't it?
That's the thing. I mean, the spaced armor is annoying, and the T22 is not the only tank that has it. As I said, the IS4 does have the IS4 has the ability to bounce. Now, I didn't mean the IS4 has spaced armor. I meant the IS7 does have spaced armor, though. Funnily enough, it does.
The IS3 as well, and the WZ112-2,
Yeah,
and also IS5.
and you know,
IS8.
it does defeat, and it will defeat HE and heat. What's annoying is, for example, the Sheridan. You smack it with APCR on its arse and it bounces. That's annoying because spaced armor should not bounce APCR, okay? Because it should just go straight through. And the T92 and to an extent the T22 does that, to an extent. And that's one of the things that they've got to look at, because you can't really have spaced armor bouncing APCR, realistically. What do I think of? So Vedant says, "What do I think ATGMs will be?" I mean, do I think it's a good thing? I don't know. Is it? I mean, I'm not a good Sheridan player. Okay, I've never have been. But if you look at my stats on the T92, I should be a good Sheridan player. But I've always said the T92 and the Sheridan are two different tanks, two different beasts. I've always said that there is potentially a place in the game for these missiles, but not on the mechanics that they had. The ability to literally have a guided missile doesn't exist in real life in that era for that tank. And and the ability to literally shoot from behind cover without exposing yourself is always a bad thing, because we've got 420 odd tanks in the game and only 2 tanks have that ability, and those are the 2 missile tanks. So they needed to do something. Removing the missiles, well, if you would have turned them to line of sight, etc., etc., then you basically got a missile that's just a heat round. So
And then you just have a slower heat round.
yeah, all they've done is achieve the same thing, which is you've still got the heat round, you've still got the the ability to cause damage in these things. You just don't have the ability to do it from behind a rock. As simple as that. And you need to break cover now, which is what the other 99.6% of the tanks in the game have to do. They have to break cover to fire. Hey, Blackie Elite, how you doing, man?
One thing I do like, though, can we just appreciate how bad Wargaming is in listening to their community?
Well, they're not bad. They just took a long time. I mean, if they were bad, they wouldn't have done it.
I mean, from the get-go, we thought that the ATGMs would be hard to balance, and they literally said it would be fine. It only took them a year to realize, oh, hey, we can't balance these things.
Well, they tried to balance it, but that's not the argument. I mean, the argument here is they're looking at the data, and the data is showing that people are playing these tanks a lot. And if people are playing them a lot...
There's nothing wrong down.
Correct.
No, probably they're looking at royal fatness. And,
Like, you can't just approach these things with data and say, oh, this is that. You just can't do it like that.
No, you can't.
Proper brain to look at everything.
Yeah,
Make them in the correct way.
but this is the thing. I mean, this is the thing that some of us don't understand. I mean, the people that the Wargaming staff, by the way, you see on the Discord, they're not the decision makers as such. Okay, and like most businesses, you'll probably find the decision makers don't play the game. Okay, and they're looking at cold fact, and their cold facts are saying, lots of people are playing these tanks, so they can't be as bad as you're making out. Whereas the people who are playing the game are saying they're broken, they're this, they're that, they're annoying, blah, blah, blah. And therein lies the disconnect. So it was good for Wargaming to say, let's do a survey and find out, and marry the survey with the data. I mean, it took time, and it took too long, I agree. But to say they don't listen to the community is wrong, because they did eventually.
It's true though. It's true to a certain extent though.
To an extent.
But it's still true though. It's still true though. You can't say it's outright wrong.
No, I'm not saying it's outright wrong. I'm just saying that you can't just turn around and say they don't listen, because after pressure, they were forced to listen. So they do listen. They do. It just, like most things, it takes time. And
Well, how about make it so that it doesn't take time next time? How about
that's
that?
totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. They need to take action sooner rather than later on certain things, and I agree with you on that.
And because this been like the most frustrating thing that devs have been doing. Like look back into spare parts timers.
Oh God, yeah, exactly. And they took too long on these things.
It's literally a repeat. It's literally a repeat of the same thing.
Absolutely.
Learned the lesson at all.
No.
So something must be changing in Wargaming, like inside them, because you can't have these happening anymore.
No, you can't drag your feet on these sort of things, and that I'm 100% behind you there. And taking a year with fiddling around with the bloody things, knowing that the issue was not fiddling around with them, but the issue was the missiles themselves, didn't help them. And they should have done the survey long before they did the survey. Is my argument. I mean, I'm all for surveys.
The survey, the community was already speaking loud and clear.
No, but therein lies the problem, though, mate. Because, as I said, you have to remember the decision makers aren't the ones who are generally listening to the community. The decision makers are the ones looking at the cold, hard fact. And most businesses do that, unfortunately. I mean, it's just the way it works. businesses look at the cold hard fact.
No, but if you're a business, that's fine. If you're purely a business, that's totally fine. But if you're building an esports scene, you can't look at just numbers and say this is this. You gotta listen to the damn community and okay, like because if you look at other esports titles, those titles are community driven, not data driven, not money driven, not anything. Those are community driven stuff. So if you don't listen to the community when the community says this shit, you're literally disappointing the community by not listening to them and giving them, well, not even considering what they're talking about.
But therein lies another problem, though. I mean,
Let's be honest. Do they give a fuck? That's the question.
Who was that? That's got to be who was that? That was Saeed, yeah.
Yeah. They don't give a fuck. It's a company, man. Companies care about money. Why would they care about what you think? You're gonna play the game anyway.
I mean, I'd love. I mean,
they spend money to make this rocket or ATGM thing. They're not just gonna delete it for you. After they've seen that people are actually stopping playing the game because of the ATGMs, then they're gonna do the move. So they're not gonna do any move. It's not if it's not gonna cost them money. You know what I mean? It's a company. It's a profit company.
See, I just want to go back to what Maddox said one moment, because I would love, Maddox, I would love that to be the position. I would love it that esports was the priority for Wargaming. I would love that for this game. But you and I both know it's not. Because we know that 98%, even more probably, 99% of the player base aren't interested. And I would love that ratio to be changed. I would love it to be, you know, we want to go into esports, we want to do it this way, we want to do it that way. I would love that. And hey, no party without me. How you doing, big man? You know, I would love that to happen, where a lot more time, effort and investment was put in onto the esports side, not just for the pro clans, but also for, you know, just tournaments in general. And you're right, then they need to listen to the community. But when you've got over 90% of the player base just dropping in and not really caring, then they're going to treat it more as a business. What's going to bring the money in? Why are people buying the tanks? And this is where the disconnect came with the missile tanks. Because you're right, the community is saying this. But the business side...
Not just that. The concept of boxes and what do you call it? Gambling is not a good thing. It's not. No one likes it.
No, nobody likes it. I hate it.
Yeah, tell me one player that will say anything. Like, I mean, the Sheridan, there were actually people liking it. Like, there people are willing, like, want the thing to stay in the game. But the gambling, the boxes thing, no one wants it.
No.
Did Wargaming change it? Did Wargaming do anything?
And they never will. And they never will.
That's my point. Yeah, exactly, my point. So if they will care about us, if they will care about the feedback, that will give them more money, because more people are gonna come back, or more people are gonna join the game.
There's a very specific reason that I don't completely agree with that. Because let's look at the loot boxes for say.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a shed load of money.
Yeah, it does.
Is the Sheridan a premium tank?
No, it's tech tree.
The Sheridan is not a premium tank. If the Sheridan was a premium tank, that would be a whole entire new argument, because that would be a tank that people spent money to get, and they can't just nerf it. Same as the WZ-120.
But why is Alan?
No. The thing is, they spend money to make this. Listen, the company.
Yes, but they spent money to make the WZ-120 as well.
But why is Alan?
No.
I just want to clarify one point here, because you've touched.
WZ-120.
You've touched on a subject.
The 120-1 GFT, the Tier 8 Premium.
Yeah, but you've touched on a subject that hang on a minute, guys. Wise Alan has touched on a subject that really grates me, and I'm glad you've raised it. You're right. The Sheridan and the T92 are not premium tanks. Okay, so realistically, in real terms, money shouldn't be a factor. However, if you go into your garage, okay, you can literally buy your way to those tanks. Okay.
And the camo as well.
And therein lies their plan. Okay, because now, I mean, when I started this game, probably when you started this game, and like most of us, I could not do instant upgrades to get to the next tank. I had to grind the bloody thing. Now I can instant upgrade for 10, 8, whatever it is, gold. And if I haven't got the gold, I've got my credit card, I can go and buy the gold. There you go, I'm spending money. And people are rushing through to buy the tanks like the Sheridan and the T92. They're not premiums,
And now,
but a lot of people have dropped money. Oh, absolutely.
Especially because of like Pantoof's video about saying that, oh, if you have a Sheridan in your garage, you're going to get a second one.
Absolutely.
You're going to be doing that.
I've had today on stream and in messages already saying I need to rush the grind on my Sheridan. It is going to happen.
Yeah, okay, and see, that's kind of the reason that I really didn't like the fact that Pantoof put out a video saying that. Because
well, there's another worst thing. They said 700 battles. The 700 battles, no one paid attention to that.
Absolutely.
If anyone will have 700 battles, they will get a special camo.
And a special avatar. And a special avatar. And you'll get a special avatar.
They're spamming the thing. That's the point. They're just ruin the matchmaking for the whole time until the fucking update will come.
There is a lot of that.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Because just yesterday I got a match where I had like 5
Inman.
Sheridans, not even including myself.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, mate, I went out in ratings today and they're being spammed. They were spammed anyway, but yeah, I mean, they're being spammed even more now.
Yeah, in ratings, they were being spammed like a lot all the time. But in randoms, I've seen 6 Sheridans in one battle.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, then I was having the issue. I was having the issue yesterday of people literally like the same clan, just all rolling out on both teams and then sitting in their spawn with ATGMs. Like.
Yeah. No. I've seen that today. I've seen that today, and you know there are a couple of things that you've got to understand here. One, people are now going to drop a shed load of money to get these tanks if they haven't got them, in the vain hope that they're going to get a Sheridan. But it's only worth 5 gold, by the way, if you try to sell it.
I love that they did that, by the way.
Secondly, you're gonna. Secondly, hang on a minute. As Saeed said, they're going to spam it because they want the avatar and the camo.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, if you've done 700 battles, you get this special avatar. I mean, people are going to spam this thing until it's worn out, and then thirdly, missiles in game are going. It's as simple as that. So you're going to have people spamming it just to carry on playing the missiles for a short time. So you're going to see a lot of T92s and Sheridans being played now.
Yeah. Now, my other question is, okay, the new Sheridan that you're getting, if you already have one, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's only available in other modes. Because I've heard that.
Correct.
I've also heard that it's always going to be available.
No.
Figure out exactly how that works.
No, it's only available in
training rooms.
Yeah, you can play it in training rooms. You can only have it in the fun modes, Mad Games. Somebody told me Realistic, Uprising, Gravity, every other game apart from Skirmish.
Okay, cool.
So.
Does anyone hear German, by the way? Does anyone hear German?
I'm not. No. It's the mighty
Anyone hear Russian?
Inman.
Anyone hear Russian or understand Russian?
Inman.
Yep, here.
Very slightly.
So you know, there's a thing about Russian people, not just in games or business or companies, but Russian people, they don't like anyone telling them what to do, even if it's good for them.
I'm married to I'm married to a Russian.
Right now, listen, if I tell Wargaming right now, I'm PewDiePie, and I have 120 million people watching me, and I'll make half of these people join your game, and you will make more money. Just put my name in the game for a week, or change this tank. They will say no because they don't.
Yes, they will definitely say no.
They don't like anyone telling them what to do, even if it's good for them.
Absolutely.
So that's another thing. So they gave the M60 for people. They didn't give a fuck about what people will say. They just gave it to people that they paid too much money, and they were like, oh, we don't know why we gave it. But people already know.
That's a big
Why-
reason
Yeah.
why Russians shouldn't develop games.
Mate, guys, I'm married to a Russian. Trust me, they don't like being told what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the other thing that I was looking at recently
They're
is,
like the missus, huh?
is
Oh.
did anyone else realize they have a tier 6 gun that has APCR standard?
What's that?
I
Which
forgot.
one?
SU-100 now has an APCR heat gun instead of
Oh,
AP
yeah, yeah,
APCR.
Oh, really? I didn't see that. No.
SU-100. Wait a second.
Yes.
Wait a second.
The SU-100 now has an APCR gun with 180 standard pen and 235 heat.
Wow.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
It is my new favorite tier 6 tank, and
I can imagine.
all the time now.
I can imagine. I'm going to check that in a minute after this
Same
replay.
damage. The same damage as before.
Yes, same damage.
Okay,
Oh, they
so
buffed the penetration, right?
Yes, they
Wait.
did, but they gave it new shells.
That's insane.
wait
I
a
think
second.
they're mistaken.
Wait
That
a
is
second.
actually insane.
No,
Oh, but-
no,
but-
you said heat, right?
Yes, it's APCR heat.
Okay, before we move, hang on, before we move any further,
No.
guys, if you're not,
Why?
if you are not subbed to,
SU-100, the regular one.
Oh yeah, the regular.
if you are not subbed to Mighty Noob, get over there and sub to Mighty Noob. He's almost
Wow.
at, he's almost at 5k, I believe. I believe.
So one question. I have one question
That's more
about
than you are, Fugit.
Absolutely. And where are you, Mighty? Let me have a look. How many you got? Yeah, he's on 4,804 something subs. Come on, guys, let's get him to 5,000. Because quickly, he's doing really well in ratings, battle missions, unlike me, and he will have loads of stuff to give away. And if he gets to 5,000, he gets more stuff to give away. Ba, 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 ba. So it's a benefit. Anyway, sorry, I had to say that because Mighty Noob's in the chat.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
So, where were we? What were we talking about? I forgot.
I mean, Droodles made a video about what he thinks about tier 10
Okay.
and tanks. So I agree with all of what he said about the nerfs and the buffs for the tanks.
Mm.
But I don't think that they should have put the WZ 113 GFT in the game, because in PC it's the least tank played and it's the least tank researched. Why
No.
would they bring that to Blitz?
Okay, there is actually a reason for that, because
they
the
can.
reason that people didn't like it in PC is because everyone had the understanding that the gun was bad, the tank was bad. But if you really sit down and play it, it's a lot better than the Object 268. At least
No.
on PC it is.
No.
If you play it with the right, if you angle the armor correctly, it can be a lot worse to deal with.
Never played PC, so don't know. I can't answer
People just
that.
don't like it because, why would I grind the Chinese version if I could just play 268 and do better?
No, they have
the,
been
uh,
mentioned
why,
that
why would I
in
do
the
it
world
if
of
I
tanks-
can't?
152.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but
In
the
the world of
268
tanks-
version 4.
Yeah, the version 4
Why would I
was
play
just
anything if I have that?
100% OP, and you don't need.
Yeah, the version 4 though, isn't that a
ZG2.
premium or is that tech tree? I'm not sure.
No, it's a
I
tech
forget.
It's a
Oh,
structure.
it is? I haven't played PC in a couple of years, so
I haven't played PC, so I can't even partake in the argument.
Listen, whoever is working on PC, I think they're doing a way much better job at balancing the game than Blitz.
Oh
'Cause-
my
Okay.
God.
No, wait a second.
Don't get us started.
Wait a second. No, wait a second. Why would we still have the FV215B? Why would they give it a premium, a legendary camo? Why? It's a bad thing.
Why not?
because they replaced it with
Why
the
the
ship bar.
fuck would they even get 279E? Like, fuck the hell.
Hey.
Well-
Don't talk.
Okay,
Tell me
but the
fucking
thing with
One at a time. One at a time.
The Death Star is ruining the game. Why is it still here?
Don't talk about it.
Because why not?
Up here.
Tell me,
Well, to see,
tell
here's-
me anyone
they-
enjoys to see a Death Star on the enemy team. How many 40%ers actually have the Death Star and sitting in the fucking corner every single game.
I love the Death Star and the ship barn when I'm
Okay,
playing my
okay.
I'm
artillery
sitting
because
in the
I know
corner
where,
with the
I
Death
know where they're
Star.
gonna sit and I can just one-shot them.
I'm That's
It's the same thing with the fucking
No,
shirt.
like if you
Sit
say
there,
PC or
fuck
so
around.
is more balanced, you're fucked in the head, man. Like seriously.
Why? Why?
Yeah, that is very
The
true.
object 279.
And the Death Star, that's got one.
Wait, wait,
ML
wait,
for the win.
wait, one at a time.
Oh.
Why is it now more balanced?
Well, okay, okay.
It's an arguing tournament now.
That's a very bad thing when you talk about PC.
You also have the Defender.
Those-
Yeah, but look at the other
Okay.
tanks. Don't
Who
look
forgot
at
about
one
the
tank.
Lefa?
Look at the other tanks.
Yeah, but come
I
on.
mean, the +2 matchmaking,
You
that's the
just
thing.
look at one thing and say they're better. You know, go look at the entire thing. You know.
Yeah.
The entire thing is that they're bad.
Yeah, the entire thing is I would say would be better, but as a whole, they have a lot more outliers in their balancing. Like there are so many tanks that are either incredibly balanced or incredibly not.
I mean, just to jump in here.
No, I'm not talking about the tanks, about the game mechanics.
I know.
No,
Game
listen.
mechanics, yes.
Exactly. No, listen to me, bro. They don't have fucking supremacy. They have encounter. They have
Defend and attack, yeah.
yeah, and they have ratings are way better. Like ratings are, man, they're not toxic.
Yeah. Yeah,
Chevron's
I
a
love
way
the
better
ratings.
idea.
Yeah, I do
it's
agree
a
on that.
way better system everywhere.
Not
everywhere.
really. Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't think the
About
ratings
the-
are
Okay.
better.
Well, the
Chevrons-
the ratings on with the chevrons are really, really good actually.
I think
Yeah.
a rating Chevron is slightly better than what this has, but it's still not good.
It's
But, whoa.
Why are they pushing like
So-
supremacy? We don't
Time
have
out.
any.
Time out. A couple of things. I mean, one, don't forget, the PC has got much more resources than we have on Blitz. Much more.
This is very true.
And
What do you mean? What do you mean?
well,
PC, it can run more
yeah,
stuff. You can
it's
have more people. You can
yeah,
do more things.
it's been going on.
It's a system change. I'm not
No.
talking about graphics.
No. But I'm talking about from the main events as well. I mean, probably the team at the PC side is a lot bigger than the team on the Blitz side.
Of course, there's way more players.
Exactly. So but so the
Exactly, the company needs
hang on, chill.
Bad take for now. Stand your bad take for 1 second.
Just chill a minute. So I mean, so you've got a game that's been ongoing for a lot longer than Blitz, and a couple of. I mean, the thing about Blitz, it was brought in just to be a mobile game. Okay, it's morphed to include PC, which I don't think is a bad thing. A lot of people say it is. I don't think it is. It doesn't bother me that PC players are there. But the downside is, you know, you're comparing a game that is established and with a bigger team behind it and a lot more monetary resources, most likely, to a game that has less resources. To be fair, now I'm not saying that you know Blitz should not be following the lead of some of the things that PC do. I totally agree it should. There's a lot of things that the PC game does that we need to get in Blitz, and one of those things is we've talked about here before is, for example, the campaigns. The campaigns they do on the PC look awesome. And I'd love for something like that to be introduced into Blitz.
Exactly. Campaigns, gun marks.
Yeah.
There's too much things to do there. It's a big game.
Absolutely.
Now,
Here,
the only other thing that I would think of that comes to mind about PC is the fact that if you look at the PC,
Hi, Leandro.
there have been maybe 2 instances that I can think of where the community has said this needs to go, and Wargaming didn't want to do it, and they never did. And both of those, they ended up coming out and say, you know, we're sorry, we didn't do this, that, and the other. For Blitz, it seems like it's at least once a year that this happens in some form.
Because they're losing people. There's only like
Yeah, I understand they're losing people.
Yeah.
But if you look at any time the PC game pushes something out, there's never been a problem like this. There's like it's either been a marketing issue where they marketed something wrong or just something else. There's never been a problem of the community saying one thing, but the data says another. And I think that has to say something on the developing side of the PC game because of the fact that they don't have this problem. So there has to be something that the PC game is doing that we are not, as the
Listen,
Blizzard.
listen. There's the main problem.
Can I go first, please?
Yeah.
I raised my hand in the back.
Go ahead, whoever said that, go ahead.
Do you have a lot of friends that you invite into games?
Yeah, I actually got like 15 of my friends playing and we play together all the time.
Try invite someone to play World of Tanks PC and just watch them play the tutorial and understand what the game is. And at the end of the tutorial, they would have a comprehensive view of the game. Like, what is spotting, what is this tank, what is this.
Yeah.
On PC, it's way better than Blitz. On Blitz, like, I am trying to, like, every night, I play in my living room, and my roommates just, like, watching me. They're like, okay, we know what you're doing, but we have no idea why or what it is. Like, oh my god, why you're not shooting? You are in the bush. The enemies are right there. I'm like, okay, I'm watching for my team. So the game has so many mechanics that's not explained anywhere, and I mean anywhere. And
I mean, there are even tank statistics that aren't shown in the game.
That's a bad argument. That's a bad argument.
Stop. Let him continue.
That's a bad argument.
What is that argument?
There's YouTube. There's listen. People being stupid. It's not the company's fault. Let's agree on that.
Can I
The issue that
Can you move
PC.
side, please, or like everyone?
How are you good?
Open, for fuck's sake.
Okay. The issue that Blitz has is somebody who is new to the game.
Hang on.
Just sit down.
Alright, I'm going to moderate. So, Wise Alan, quickly say your point, and then Lopney. Nobody else other than Lopney.
Okay, sorry.
No, Wise Alan, make your point.
Is that a new player can't just sit down for 5 minutes and have a complete understanding or a basic understanding of what they're doing. All they're instructed to do at the beginning of the game is ha ha ha, shoot tank, ha ha ha, win games. And that's a problem. And people are trying to fix that.
Okay. Stop. Okay. Lopney's chance. He had a point to make. He was halfway through it. He didn't finish making it. So, Lopney, over to you, my friend.
All my friends, they don't have enough English to go into YouTube and listen to everyone babbling about the tanks and things, okay? There's not enough content for this game for them to be, like, if you're gonna tell someone that you need to do homework to understand what a game is, that's not a game, that's a job.
Yeah.
Okay? So if I still remember how I got into the game. If I did not know something, like my personal understanding for the game, it's like there's no one here to teach you anything. I've like a friend, 10,000 games, he didn't know what hash is. He have 2,000 games in the desktop. He didn't know what hash is with 2,000 games in the desktop. And you was gonna say, oh, it's his problem. No, it's not there. There's nowhere in the game that gives you like a hint, a tip, or anything that, okay, you are aiming at the back of that tank. Try using HE. Like, you play a game for living. Like, you can watch Overwatch on Twitch and see players with like top of their game, and will do something stupid, they will still get that pop-up message. Okay, you did something stupid, try this next time. That's my point.
But listen. You just made an argument about one guy playing the game for 10,000 games and doesn't know what hish is. Let me tell you, brother, that guy have a real big issues.
No, I mean, he's not your brother.
I mean, listen. My wife never played any PC game or any phone game. I gave her the fucking phone. It took her 30 minutes to outplay a guy who played the game for 6 fucking years with a 6 fucking year avatar. That's the guy's problem. That's the guy problem. Not the game problem.
Okay.
However, hang on.
That he's trying to.
Hang on. Let me just jump in. You both make a good point. Let me deal with Lopney's point first. So, and this this is what I think currently is there is a fundamental flaw in the game. Now, when they brought in 5.5, and okay, I'm talking about 5.5 again, nothing's really going to change. Let's not go there. But when they brought in 5.5, they brought in things that they shouldn't have brought in. And one of those things was they removed HE from the lower tiers. Okay? Now, the reason you have a low tier is to learn the game. And whilst what Lopin is saying is correct, you haven't got the chance to learn the game anymore. I have to also agree with Saeed, if you've been playing the desktop for that many battles and you don't know how to use Hesh, then to be fair, you're a bit of a muppet. But when they removed this ability to learn the game in the low tiers, they really did stick people's hands behind their backs and say, well, just go and do whatever you want to do for the first 5 tiers, and then when you get to first 4 tiers, then when you get to tier 5, we're going to open a whole new world to you of camos and HE and all stuff, but we're not going to tell you what they're used for. Hence the reason why you'll go into a tier 10 battle now and you'll see people in an E100 with no camo. Because why do you need a camo? I got a 65% win rate from tiers 1 to 4 without using a camo. I don't need a camo. Why do I need to use HE?
Honestly, camos don't really do much.
Yeah, but
They actually do something.
But why use
something, but not much.
But why use HE? I mean, I did tiers 1 to 4 without HE. I don't understand why I need it.
But it's not that big of an issue, Fugit. It's a problem. It is a problem. Listen. It is a problem, but it's not a huge problem. If that was if this problem have that big of an effect, you will see people not even reaching Unicum, or you're gonna see way fewer people reaching Unicum or Super Unicum levels. You know?
Actually, no, you're incorrect.
Why?
Because Unicum is a relative number.
It's a relative term.
Number.
Why?
It's a relative term. No, absolutely.
Why? How did he get there? He jumped into the
And it is a relative number.
It's a relative number.
Like they compare the average stat of the average players to your
It's a
statistics.
relative number, not an absolute.
Like if you,
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
But see, here's the thing: if the
Shut
average
the fuck
player,
up, I'm going to explain this.
oh, here comes Matthew.
If you did 2,000 damage in the T20 and 2,000 damage in the for let's say an E100, like those two won't have the same WNA.
No, I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about this. You got me wrong. I'm talking about the player level, the player skill. You will not see a good player skill. No, it's not. It's not.
yes,
It's not.
Okay, look. Okay, if player skill wasn't,
to some extent.
Listen.
If you don't have a retarded player that has 34% win rate, you won't have a super unicum player who have a 66% win rate.
Why?
Because
if
one guy loses one battle and then the other must
The rating is
possible to have more than 50%.
no. The rating will be shit then. The ratings will be shit.
Hello. Who's that?
so
That's Inaman.
May I say something in Russian?
Carry on, Inaman. Just make sure it's not debil. don't call everybody a debil.
Саид,
someone is at the top of
guys,
the scale, right?
guys, give me a second. Саид, у них совершенно другой менталитет. Ты пытаешься объяснить им то, что ты задрачиваешь в игру ради статы, ради фана. Они играют просто в игру, ты понимаешь?
Дебили, они это не понимают.
Это не они дебилы, это мы дебилы. Ты пойми, тут разный менталитет. Ты играешь в игру, чтобы получать стату, они играют в игру, чтобы играть в игру.
Okay, that
Понимаешь?
I love just sitting and watching this unfold.
Я знаю.
What I'm saying is that you are arguing about two different things, watching from the two different sides. Saeed is playing for the stats. Saeed is playing for the progress. And that's the point why CIS is called Super Unicum players, because they're playing for the stats and abusing the low tier players who are noobs.
Well,
No.
Wait.
Listen,
Said,
one
wait.
second.
Wait. Подожди, блядь. Тебя слушали, ты заткните, подожди.
Тебя все слушали, теперь ты подождешь, подожди.
Ну, блядь, если 6 лет играет, и у него 30%, это не человек, понимаешь? Это обезьяна, блядь.
И что дальше? Ну, дядя, что?
Я не
был
хочу, чтобы был просто
45%.
60%. Я хочу, чтобы был 50 хотя бы, блядь, понимаешь?
Ну и что? Это на тебе-то как отражается? Если
Это-
ты всосал в
это
бой,
у него-
значит ты всосал в бой, понимаешь?
Хорошо, если это у него, тогда это его проблема, не наша проблема, это не игры проблема, понимаешь?
Блед. I know блед.
Извините, английский, пожалуйста.
The thing is that we are watching from the different sides because we have the different mentality. And I agree with both mentalities because I
So do I.
understand what everyone is trying to say.
So do I. And this is the thing. I mean, just going back to both points. I mean, yes, the guys are right. I mean, if you use the term unicum, then yes, it is relative because you normally associate unicum with WN8, etc., etc. However, we have got guys who are absolutely spectacular at this game. Okay, we really have. Who really know how to play the game. Now, they didn't get there by luck. They just didn't get there by luck. They got there firstly, they got there because they do have talent, yes. But talent is only going to get you half the way. And it's like everything, you know. It's like any professional. Talent will only get you so far. The other times, you've got to practice and perfect your talent. Now, okay. We have a crap training room. We do have crap training for Blitz. However, how did these spectacular players who know how to play the game learn how to play the game? And it, you know, you can't. They're not watching me on YouTube or Meadsy or Pantu. I guarantee you that they're not. And but they still know how to play the game. Maddox. I mean, you for all intents and purposes, you're a pro player. How did you learn the game, Maddox? You didn't learn it from the bloody training rooms. Sorry, from the training videos at the beginning.
Yeah, it took a lot of time looking into game mechanics and learned them, try to figure out how to use them correctly.
And that is Saeed's point. Saeed's point is, you can't just you can't just roll out and expect the game to do it for you. You've got to put effort in too, and I totally agree with that. But I also agree with Lopney's point, which is there aren't a lot of indicators. I mean, if you're a new player, none of us are new players anymore. But if we were new players and we had never heard of YouTube and never been on YouTube. What's the bloody light bulb? What does that mean? What is the light? Does that mean I've got an idea?
Exactly.
I mean, have I got an idea? What does it mean? I don't know what it means. I mean, it's bizarre, this light bulb thing. I mean, because light bulbs normally...
It takes you 100 battles to see everything.
Yeah.
To see all the mechanics, it takes you 100 or 150 battles. That's it.
But that's...
I mean, the only reason that I had a 50-something% win rate coming out of the gate, coming to Blitz, is because I played PC for a long time. I jumped here off the PC train, so I already knew reverse side scraping, gun depression. I knew had a pretty good idea already how that was and how it worked.
But this is why I
come across in a tier 8 match. I'm playing my Panther 2, and I see a T49 just sitting in the open for literally no reason, trying to spam Hesh at everything.
But that's different. And I just want to get... I'll deal with that in a moment. The reason I was so disappointed with 5.5 is because tiers 1 to 4, love them or loathe them, and to an extent tier 5, they're the training wheels. You know, the KV1 is the tank you learn to side scrape in, guys. Regardless of what you may think, it's the tank you learn to side scrape in. And
M4 is the hold down.
Absolutely. You know,
we just play mediums in general.
Exactly, and you know the low tiers were never meant to be used for seal clubbing. Let's be honest. I mean,
but Fugit, you said the key word, seal clubbing. You have to deal with the problem, not just like to
correct.
Talk about
not
the problem.
Mitigate it.
So correct.
Exactly. So when you they removed HE just because removed HE consumables and removed all of that from low tiers because there's actual people just.
I agree.
To tier 3, I find people with 70k battles in tier 3.
I know.
Yeah, that's
I know.
toxic, and there's a lot of these people. So,
There are, yes.
And let's be honest, the player who wants to play the game, he jumped the first tiers. Like now in tier 10, you find people with 500 battles.
Well, that brings me to my next point.
450 battles.
Well, that brings me to my next point, which is I think it was Wise Allen mentioned that he came across a guy in a T49 and just sat there in the middle of the open trying to derp everything. It's counter to what I should be saying. YouTubers, we ourselves are to blame for that to an extent, because we generally show high battle derp games, okay, and people look at that and think, well, I can do that, or I want that tank, and that's why you're getting people rushing the tiers, because they want those derp guns and they want those high battle games that we, the YouTubers, generally show. And it's
related to that. Okay.
And it's not realistic. I mean, what you see on YouTube is not realistic, guys. For every high damage game I do 100 shit games. It's as simple as that. And we only play the best replays.
On that same note, I'm pretty sure it was Quickie Baby a couple of years ago. He did a game on PC where he fired nothing but HE. Got like 6,000 damage, got a mastery, and was screaming at his chat not to do this just because it worked for me. And I think it's the same.
Yeah.
Like circumflexes were the first one to start that shit.
I think it's the same issue here, because people saw that on his stream and was going on his chat saying, "Oh, we're gonna go HE in the FB215B, and oh, we're gonna HE."
Absolutely, and so.
And I feel like that's the same problem here.
To an extent, it is, and I've argued that for a long time. That sometimes we, the YouTubers, because we play these games, people get this mentality that that tank is easy to play or that damage is easy to get. And generally what you're seeing...
I would also think that in that same regard, when people have, like when say somebody, say Medzi or Droodles or whoever it is, does like a premium tank buying guide or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is what the tank does. I'm just going to show you a mastery game of it before you even buy it.
Look, guys, there is an easy fix for all of this. If they just make a win rate relative matchmaking. So if you're less than 50%, you go together, and above 50%, you go together. That's the perfect solution. That's very perfect.
There is an issue. There is a huge issue with that, though.
What is?
Then, okay, if you were, say I'm a 50% player, right? Yeah. And my friend over here is a 50% player. If we keep playing 50% players, we're not going to really level. We're just all going to level out at 50. Same with the 30%ers.
No. You have time to learn. You will have time to learn.
If the 30% players only fight 30% players, right? And the 50s only fight 50s. Everybody's just going to level out because you have a 50% chance of winning or losing your game because everyone is at the same skill level.
No. That's if we're bots. You're totally right. If we were not humans. But humans,
look,
you know what
if me, like I said, a 50% player, right, and you, a 50% player, we have equal chance of winning the game based on skill alone. That dictates, according to math, that you have a 50% chance of winning the game, and I have 50% chance of winning the game.
No.
If someone else was, say, a 75% player, and I was a 50% player, that player would have 20% chance more because they have more skill than I do.
You have a point.
That's just simple math.
But I just want to roll back. I just want to roll back just a little bit. Just a little bit.
1 second.
Go on.
Let me just clear this one. If the 50% player right now, he's a 50% because he's actually going against 70, 80, 90% players, right? So when you do the system right now, it's not like you said, because this 50% player, his 30 days is like 66, but he's 50% because he's keep going against better and better players. If you were
that's the issue with this.
You have a point. Yeah, you have a point. If the game started like this, if the game really started,
thank you, Mutated Gino.
50% you go against 50 plus, and if you have 40%, you got 40 minus. You know what I mean? But now, if they do this system now, it's actually gonna work because some people will get better and some people will get worse, and they will stay where they are. But humans are getting better every day, so just assume
Most
that.
of the time.
Yeah, if he's not a monkey, yeah.
Well, what I was going to say was, I don't necessarily disagree, but 5.5 brought things into the game that nobody could have anticipated. Okay, and let's say it was to deal. Hang on a moment. Let's say it was to deal with seal clubbing. Let's park that to one side at the moment. 5.5 brought something into the game that the game was not prepared for. And what that brought in was two things. One, it brought in overinflated win rates. Okay? Now, you can roll out in this game, and I've seen it, and you're going to play your first 100 battles against bots who, not being funny, they're not the most intelligent of things. I mean, Amunet went onto a CIS account, played one game, got a mastery, got a Raz, 100%. She's given up on CIS. Can't get better stats than that.
I just shadow and emanate in my game.
Now, there you go, you see. Now, let me put it to you this way. If you're a player with 300 battles, and we've just seen one today because I was tuning with Saeed earlier, you're a player with 300 odd battles, okay, and you've got a 63% win rate, you're going to think you're a good player, yes or no? Of course you are, because you've got your lovely win rate, okay? So you're good.
But he have an OP tank. That's Wargaming problem, selling fucking tanks to.
Which is what I'm about to get to. So what you've now got here, you've got players who think they've got skill when realistically they haven't got skill. One of the things I've always argued is, okay, you want to deal with seal clubbing, and we don't want the game to be filled with Muppets who are just rushing through thinking they know everything. Easiest way to do that, remove all statistics for tiers 1 through to 4. Remove all of it. Okay? Remove your damage, remove your win rate, remove everything.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Now, what we... Hang on, 1 moment, time out, 1 moment. Now, when we first had this game, and if you've got Blitz Assistant, you will still see it, we used to have a rating, okay? There used to be a rating for every player. And on my Blitz Assistant, which if you've got Blitz Assistant, you can still see it, it will give you a rating as a player. It is not the same as ratings, it's your player rating, how good or how bad you may or may not be.
We all agree.
Now, that should be brought back in for the low tiers. And it's only when you get... That way, you're not going to be thinking you're shit up. That way, you're going to learn the game more. And when you get to tier 5, that's when your win rate kicks in. Because that's realistically when it does kick in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that, to me, would change a lot of things.
Yeah, but
Yes,
that
it
has to
should.
be with the system. With the system that 50% will be the line for people. So if you have a 49.9, you will go less win rate against you, and if you're 50%, you go against up to 100%. That would be perfect.
It would be.
Yeah, but okay, but if you're the 49.9% player per se, and you're only going to fight people below you and equal to
Or
you,
not
how do
only,
you...
but you play a couple of games, you win them. You're 50%. You go against the better players.
Okay, that's not always true. If someone has 2,000 battles, then yes, a couple battles at 49.9 will get them to 50.
Yeah.
But what about me sitting over here at 26,000 battles at a 49.9% win rate? One game doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, but
Like,
if you're gonna go
mathematically,
against,
one game means absolutely nothing.
yeah, but you're still gonna go against people who are 30% and 20% and 10%.
But it's, my point is, it's going to take me
See,
longer.
those of you on
because I
you-
have more
No,
battles
it's
in
gonna
order to
get you
that.
way
Yeah.
less because
Just-
you're not gonna meet the fucking player who can outplay you really easy.
Just put it in the picture. Those of you on YouTube, this is what I mean. You can't see it pretty well. You get a rating and it's here. And my rating is 4,287 because I'm a noob. But that used to be in the game, in your garage, and that's what they should bring back.
Yeah, true. I remember it. It's still on Blitz Assistance. Still there.
It is. It's still on the assistants, but it's not in the game anymore, and it should be.
We calculate that rating.
Yeah. But still, there is one more problem, Fugit. people are actually playing one game in tier 1. They win this game, and then they buy a premium tank, and they start spamming ranked.
Exactly.
That's the most shitty thing that they ever done.
Exactly.
Why? People are just YOLOing. People are literally just YOLOing in ranks because they're saying it's not gonna affect my stats. They just go YOLO. I've had people 70% players and 75 and 80% players with 20k. They're not rerolled. 20k battles plus. They do 500 damage and they die 0 damage. Why? Because they don't care. They're just playing the mode.
Okay, have you played another game, like when you go into a ranked game and you are so up in the rank, like you need to wait 20 minutes to get to a battle?
Yeah, that's what should happen.
Actual minutes, because the ranking system to work, you need to put players with good ranking against player with good ranking.
Exactly.
So right now I am ranked at 3,000, and I'm playing with 5,000 rank. We're not the same. We shouldn't be in the same game.
Yeah, but
this system is bad.
Yeah, but
system.
But the problem with that is, I mean, I get where you're coming from, but the problem with that is that there's not enough people playing ranked for it to work properly. So they need to know this. They need to understand this, and they need to work out, well, what do we need to do to make it work? Correct. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Can I say something? It's the same in every game. If you go Counter-Strike, you go Overwatch, there's not enough good players to make a game like every 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes the queue time is ridiculous. But in World of Tanks, in Blitz, it doesn't matter what rank you are. Just hit the rank game and you're in a game.
Well, I mean, but I want to go back to, I mean, Lobney, you mentioned it earlier. I mean, and it's been mentioned a few times about PC. There's a point that we're all missing about Blitz in PC, and I'll guarantee you this for a fact. I would say, if I'm being generous, I would say 50% of the player base on Blitz are playing between lectures, between classroom lessons, or between meetings, okay?
That's why quick games are the go for. When you play ranked,
which is completely different to PC. People are not playing PC Blitz, World of Tanks in between lectures or meetings. That's why you don't get you still get AFK players, but not as many as we do in Blitz. And you get a lot of people playing Blitz just for a bit of fun, to fill that 5-7 minute gap that they've got before their next meeting.
That's why in every other game.
Yeah, but there's games that ban you. They ban you for a day if you're AFK.
That's
games.
why in every other game it's called ranks and quick play.
But that's what it is. Random mode is meant to be quick play, and this is one of the problems with Blitz. We've got various different types of players, and we've got those who just drop in every now and then. We've got those who are semi-serious. We've got those who just stat paddle, and we've got those who actually love the game and want to get better at it. Okay. And unfortunately, those who love the game and want to get better at it, they're the minority, okay? These are the guys who are generally, some of them, I would say at least 99% of them aren't good enough to be pro, because it's true, unfortunately. But we enjoy the game, we want to get better, and I'm one of those 99%. I mean, I'm a complete nab, but I enjoy the game, and I like rolling out, and I try and take it seriously and try and learn. But I would say we are the minority. I really believe that, and unfortunately, because of the way this game is set up, it's not marketed for the majority, for the minority. It's marketed for the majority, and we have to look at that side of the coin as well. And this is why I've come to terms with shitty MM or whatever you want to call it, or AFK players. Because I've come to the realization that, unfortunately, majority of the player base aren't serious, okay? But if I lose a battle, as long as I've done my best personally, then I'm okay with myself. I don't care about my win rate. I've never cared about my win rate. So I'm quite happy with myself in that respect. Now, I'm quite a serious player. I like playing it seriously. I'll never be a pro, but I love doing tournaments. Tournaments is
Why are
my.
you saying that? Why? Why are you saying that?
Because I don't have enough time to invest in it.
But
To be honest,
still, you can still be a good player.
I can still be a good player, and I still get to roll out in tournaments with good clans and good teams, and I love doing that shit, and it's brilliant, and that's what drives me. I rolled out with Immol recently, WLV, GMA on NA server in tournaments, and I've loved every single minute of it. I haven't been the worst player, which has made me happy, because I'm playing with some pros, and I'm like, I'm better than you, which is nice. I rolled out on in a tune last week or 2 weeks ago, and I killed Droodles and Fishy in the same game. Yeah, go me. And these things make me happy. And we lost the next game, and I wasn't sad.
It should make you listen. Yeah, that's the thing, Fugit. A game. What does game mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Win or lose.
Absolutely.
Right. So, people having fun losing, I don't call that having fun. I don't know what is that. Then
No.
you have a problem.
Yeah.
If you having fun when you're losing, you legitimately have a problem. You're not a normal human. Because a game is made to be win.
Absolutely.
Fun when you win.
And you'll see in my streams when we lose, I still rag.
Yeah, exactly.
I still lose the plot. But I accept the fact that we lost because we've got bad players or a bad team or bad calls or I played shit. I mean, I played shit in a couple of games earlier. And then you and I rolled out earlier and we had, a 90-odd% win rate in those X amount of battles.
And I agree with that. And it's the old, like I said, and that's what PC has over Blitz, is the fact that usually if a team loses, a lot of mistakes were made. And a lot of obvious mistakes were made. In Blitz, it's never that simple.
It isn't in the moment.
You got the bad players, you got the AFK guy in the back, you have
the RNG.
You have the dude that gets ammo racked off. You got the dude that gets. Then you get the dude that gets full health ammo racked at spawn. Like, I mean, you have to deal with it, and there's nothing else you can do at that point.
And there is this a thing that no one feels, but I think, and I'm 90% sure that RNG works better for idiots and white win rate.
This is very true.
Don't make me laugh, guys. Don't make me laugh.
Listen, for 100 games in an IS7, I got ammo ranked 9 times of 100. I've seen people that they have thousands of games in IS7, and they're let's say not green, but like 46%, and they legitimately got
Ask away, Frank.
once or twice.
Ask a question, mate.
See, I can't remember the last time I have gotten ammo racked in recent time. It's just never happened to me.
Yesterday.
Oh, I've been ammo racked recently, and it's annoying.
Twice in my IS7 and in my WZ. Look at my stats in it.
It is annoying to be ammo racked. But
it is, but it's like, it's a game mechanic. I mean, you can't get mad at that at that point.
Here's something. It's a game mechanic, but it's not mentioned anywhere that where's the tank ammo rack so I can go and hit it.
It is mentioned, it is mentioned.
No, that's not
Yes.
the position.
If I want to play the game on a higher level, I know that there's something called ammo rack in every tank. If I hit it and damage it, the enemy tank had a higher chance of just exploding, okay? How can I get this info? How?
It's not working like that,
The ammo rack is in a different place in every vehicle most of the time.
You have to watch Bugatti, man. You're not watching enough Bugatti.
Don't play any FPS. Go play any FPS game. The headshot is still a headshot. The head is not in a different place every single time. Okay, I get it. Some characters have like the head in the middle of the tank, like the body. It can be relocated, but I can see where it is.
Yeah. Ammo rack.
Guys, can you have just your voices down, please?
Sure.
You're just screaming too much.
However, but but the thing is, you talk about ammo racks there. When I don't play many games, to be fair. I play this game a lot. And one of the things I did when I started taking this game a slightly bit more serious than I should have done, I spend a lot of time on things like armor inspector, looking where the modules are, looking where the weak points of the armor are, because I want to get better. Now you can, some of these programs are free. Armor inspector realistically is free of charge, so you can really find out where that is.
But the issue is that nobody tells you this thing exists unless you're involved in community and stuff. Basically, that's what 99% of the player base does not engage.
Ever seen your teammate use the enemy gun to knock it out from killing you on purpose? Have you ever seen that in the game?
I mean, Fugit,
Yeah.
do you know that if you reroll right now, you're gonna have 67%?
Yeah, I know. This is what I'm saying.
Your 30 days are 67%.
Mm-hmm.
Answer my question. Have you ever in the game seen your teammate HE the enemy gun from killing you?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
You,
Say again.
You,
Say again.
have you ever in the game, your teammate shot the enemy's gun to knock it out from killing you? Not the other way around, not you shooting the enemy.
Yes.
Yes.
When?
In tournament.
And
It
no,
was-
this is your teammate. That's basically you.
No, no.
Yeah, like
No.
okay.
Yes.
I only see it.
Guys,
The only reason
guys, one by one, please.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
The reason
The thing was that it was like 4 or 5 years ago, and that was possible. But now, according to the mechanics of the game, they removed that, and what they have left is just a medal for that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Yeah,
But-
you have to actually when you can't knock out the gun, what you have to do is you have to shoot the breach instead. So you have to basically just somehow HE the mantlet, which is pretty much impossible to do unless you have
Hey, Rado.
Death Star.
unless you have a big enough HE shell.
I'll tell you what I did see that was funny though, and I played the replay on the CIS stream on Friday, and I played it just as well. And I actually watched it when the game was being played because it's one of Juicy Tender Steaks replays. He was in a grill, and he was on Port Bay, and the last tank on the enemy team was an E100, which was quite a heavy, quite a healthy E100. And the E100 rushed Juicy in the grill, shot Juicy, HE. It hit Juicy's barrel and bounced off and killed the E100.
But see, and that's the thing. Like, I don't want to compare Blitz to War Thunder because it's not the same game.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking at a tank and I know where the viewfinder is, I should be able to stick a shell in the viewfinder and break the thing. Like, if I know how to shoot the breach, or if I know how to shoot. If I know how to shoot the turret ring. But like, why have module damage in the game if I can't pinpoint my module damage?
And you cannot
You
reliably there's no
Yeah, say I have like the side of a KV or side of a KV1 or KV1S, right? I know where on the KV1S to shoot to fatally damage the turret ring.
Yeah, but
Thank you, Frank. That's very nice of you to say.
50% of the time, not even damage the turret ring.
I mean, listen. Even if that is a thing, that will be one more reason for idiots to be more idiots.
No, not necessarily. It's a mechanic it's a mechanic that would benefit the players who know what they're doing.
No, yeah, me and you, exactly. That's the 0 point. This will benefit me and you only. It's not gonna benefit the 50%er. Let's be honest.
Well, but it's better than having a shell impact a tank and it randomly damage modules.
Do you really need more reasons to outplay a 30% idiot?
Well, okay, knowing where to shoot their tank is not. There's nothing that either player can do.
We're talking about fixing the game, not making it better.
Okay, here's the scenario.
What's the difference?
okay, you can see the track field,
Fixing a problem that is already there, not creating some new thing to put in it.
This is what I love about the Blitz community, though. They're so passionate, really. I mean, they're passionate people. This is why you're getting this in the chat, guys.
I forgot about this thing. So now I've known a guy like a couple of days ago. He's on mode WT Blitz mods. And I joined the server, and there's this guy, and he gave me a link to his server, and I joined. I download a mod, and I use the mod, and the graphics of the game is like 20% better, and he created a mod somehow for me or for everyone who uses the mod, so you can go backwards in the replay, and you make it slower or faster.
Wow.
I mean, there's normal people making gun sounds. Forget about the sounds and all of this. I mean, the graphics, the actual shot hitting the ground, making the explosions, and all of this, destroying. The game looks way better just because one guy made just a mod.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think there's some people should be fired from the fucking game development
They are
department
already
and rehiring this.
I guarantee you that the original team that made the game is not on Wargaming's payroll anymore. The only guys that are there, just maintenance guys, just maintaining the game.
That's actually true. I think that's
Exactly,
actually true.
yeah.
I've heard that the original Blitz team is gone already.
What you are asking for is passionate behind your game. Okay? And
Yeah, and that's all I want.
There's no one right now, I think, that has that.
Well. Just stop a minute, because you've touched on another subject that I was wanting to talk about today, but we talked about lots of other things. So I just want to throw it out there before you all jump on me. Now they have improved the game slightly over the last update, and now when you shoot a tank, you will see come up next to the tank, critical damage, track killed. No.
It distracts me.
Should I upload them for that? It's like some basic shit that should have been done like 3 years ago.
Okay.
And they did it bad. It happens above the tank. It's supposed to happen somewhere else.
But it's still there.
I will say I though have a big problem with this. Okay, as a mechanic, yes, 100% should be in the game. But what's the point of telling me, oh, I damaged the ammo rack, if it has nothing to do with the shot that I made? Random chance. What's the point of telling me, oh, you crit the ammo rack, oh, you blew up the engine, oh, you set up a fire, when it has absolutely nothing to do with the shot that I put in, just the RNG of it impacting.
It is a thing. You just need to research it. I literally go every day in a training room, and I try to find these things and try them.
And I know, but that's what I was trying to say earlier. If I know where to shoot, I should be able to damage things.
Yeah, but that's
what's the problem with that?
No, that's not how it works, guys. That's not how it works. You need to think about it. There's even more mechanics than you're speaking about. For example, if you're shooting from
the module.
Hang on, let him
the caliber of the gun you're shooting from.
Yes.
I know all
well, okay, I'm just saying as a baseline, if I'm using a big gun and I shoot in the right place, I should damage modules, but that's just me.
You should damage or clip. It depends
other
on
than
how...
tracks, because tracks are obvious.
No.
You're kicking tracks every single game.
I don't know who I was with the other day.
Actually, listen. If you actually work on that, you can. It's a thing. It is there.
Yeah, it is, because I was tuning the other day on a live stream, and I can't remember who I was with, and I can't remember who asked the question. It was tier 10, and somebody asked me where the ammo rack was on the IS-7, and I said to them where it was.
Most of the ammo racks for the Russians are on like the pike nodes in the front, right? Like they're usually front loaders.
Yeah, and E5 too. Give me an AMX-50B, I can ammo rack an E5 if it doesn't have a repair kit.
And I said, the ammo rack is there. And my tune mate, I think it was Elysium, I can't remember who it was now. But the guy I was tuning with then proceeded to go and ammo rack the IS-7. So if you know where these things are, and there are things around, not in the game itself, but there are outside of the game, like I said, armor inspector, etc., etc., you can go and find out where the locations of these modules are. But as Innerman said, it does depend on a lot of things. It depends on the velocity of the shell, it depends on the caliber of the gun, it depends what shell you're using, and a lot of these things do change. For example, it's German heavies are notoriously easy if you know how to set on fire engine-wise. That's notoriously easy. But you've got to know where the engine is, and generally it's in the bottom lower plate, and you've got to know that your shell is going to be good enough to set that thing on fire. And the top players know this. They know this. They spend time learning this.
Like the Shermans are so easy to damage the engine because they're all in the same spot. Well,
But
I say
still-
engine, but as well as a transmission, but like
But
same difference.
But still, there are a lot of things to calculate
Yeah, yeah.
to make the number
Why are you
work.
talking about this, man? We changed the subject. We're trying to find some problems and talk about them.
There's many problems which basically many of the players, 99% of the players, just do not understand.
There are problems,
This is
yes.
the problem.
But
For example,
Yeah, but see,
hang on. Innerman's going to make a point now. He's gonna make a point. So Innerman, over to you, man.
for example, there is a problem with the maps. That one spawn has less advantages throughout the game than the other spawn. Why nobody is complaining about that? Tell me.
We did all the time.
Mines.
We
Yeah,
did all
yeah.
the time.
Why
Not only
why
mine,
didn't I
every
see?
map.
Why
one
didn't
of
I see
the-
this?
Every map.
It's not okay. It's not one of the biggest issues right now.
No,
It's like,
it
see,
is.
let's
No,
say, for
it is.
example,
It is.
Well, okay, let me make this like, for example, mines, right? We've all known that mines has obviously one spawn that is better than the other. It's
Not
obvious
only
at
mine,
this point.
Not only mine.
But I'm just using mines as an example, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're not going to play mines every single game, but you
But
are
they're-
most likely going to see a Sheridan every single game.
They
That's
fixed
the
that.
difference.
They fixed that.
Sheridan
Not talking
are
about
not
the problems that they-
Sheridans are not that toxic right now just because
No,
there's
not
the
right now.
Vickers. There is
Okay,
a
yeah,
Vickers.
but same point. The same thing still stands. You're still going to see them more often than you're going to see mines.
And so
Which is why
what?
people are complaining
And
about it
so
more
what? I
than the
see
map.
IS-7 every game, and so what? I have no problems with IS-7. I have no problems with Vickers or Sheridan because I know that if the 40% idiot is playing this, I will have zero problems with that.
Yo,
But I
you
will
just said the
have-
keyword.
But I will have the problems when I'm playing Alpenstadt in the tournaments with against the pro team, and I have the benefit spawn.
Yeah.
I will have the problems with that.
Yeah.
Nobody is
that
complaining
And
about it.
this affects Germans too.
It does. I mean, the thing is, at one stage I was quite optimistic because Wargaming a couple of patches ago did go back and rectify some of those areas that the better players exploit, like the building gaps on Desert Sands, which was beautiful, and now it's gone. I know. Why did they get rid of
The
that?
place where the grill camped on, I forget what map it was, where the grill is now.
Well, there you could do.
Is that Port Bay?
Fair.
No. The one that they pushed him over. The one that they pushed him over the rock at the tournament, and the grill.
Oh, Mayan Ruins.
6,000 damage.
Yeah.
Fort Despair.
I was hoping that they would go back and relook at the maps because Innerman's right. I mean, Alpenstadt is a map that you can gain an advantage on the one spawn, especially if you've got a tank that's fast with good gun depression. I mean, you can take that track ridge overlooking just past the A cap on the one spawn and dominate the battlefield. And it can be a nightmare. It's not a symmetrical map.
The only map that I can say right now that I don't feel is imbalanced would be Faust. Like,
It is.
I've never.
No, it is.
I've
It
never
is.
had.
It is.
From a tournament aspect, it is.
Like-
Yeah.
Because like I haven't felt any games where I feel like one spawn is better. Like I haven't come across that yet.
Nah.
One of the fairest maps, I would say, is probably Oasis Palms.
wait.
Oasis Palms or
What's the damn Winter Malanovka?
Winter Malanovka's another one.
Yeah. one spawn, the TDs can shoot you when you're spotting in your light tank, and the other spawn can't do shit.
Yeah, I mean, Canal is a nightmare. Canal is a nightmare. Okay, it's a nightmare because
I hate Canal.
Canal is shit too, right?
I mean, it's a nightmare for tournaments.
I don't understand why Mines is still in the game because they still haven't fixed it yet.
Because it's the meme map. This is the meme map.
So okay, so that's actually what I heard. Actually, this is an interesting story that I heard from somebody that actually has connection with Wargaming. That what happened was the reason they actually had the multiple proposals of mines. And I've seen a few of them actually being leaked here and there. But the reason why they haven't actually done it is because the staff in charge of it, the staffs are in charge of the map, or like I don't know whatever that was. They just left the developers. They just keep leaving. So there's a lot. So like for Take New York for example, apparently that map was already in prototype stage for 3 years before it came out.
Wow.
3 years. And same for Mines. The prototype for Mines, they had an update in mind for Mines. That prototype was there for so long. I think that's even before the new prototype. And by now, like from what I heard, they might bring it up at some point, but they have no idea when.
Hear me out. So you say that the maps are not finished, and yet they added 200% more light tanks to the game since then.
Not saying not finished. You should have this. They don't have nobody working on
So when you start
Okay,
with
no. Prototype as in changes.
Yeah, don't forget.
Completion.
Don't forget. We're now playing on on Mines version 2, I believe, because version 1 had the cap. Version 3 actually.
I liked version
There you
1
go.
more than this one.
I preferred version 1 to be fair.
Yeah, I like version 1 more than this one.
And the same with.
I've seen a lot of different prototype versions of Mines since then, but they never came to fruition.
Yeah.
And I suspect that was the reason.
And it's like
my only thing on Mines is that you have one spawn that likes the hill, that benefits from camping the back and looking at the hill. You get the other spawn that can bum rush the cap, and like, because the cap is literally a stone's throw from their spawn.
Yeah.
I mean, but we have got a lot of. I mean, Rockfield. Rockfield, Desert Sands, Oasis Palms, Mines. They're all on versions, whatever they are now. I can't remember what versions they all are, but they've all.
Still version 1.
Yeah, but I mean, do you remember the old Desert Sands with the massive? Yeah. And
Lovely.
you had the big TV, you could get a TD up on like a mountain on the old Desert Sands, and that one side you had like a mountain ridge that you could just dominate. But at the same token, where the A cap now is, it's the A cap I believe, where the A cap now is, that used to be like a big valley, a big sand dune valley you could sort of roll along it.
It was lovely.
It was a beautiful map.
It was the best map.
And then,
It was the best map.
well, I disagree with you because Oasis Palms, wow, that was a good map. Massive sand dunes that you could literally decimate the town. And they changed it all, they flattened it all out. And I love those maps.
They should change. I think they should change the name.
There's actually 2 versions of new Oasis Palms. The first one is a less flat, and they did the flat even before that's what we have right now.
They did, yes. And then you had Rockfield, which was completely different to what it is now. It was more undulating and a fair few more rocks and pillboxes. So they have worked on the maps over recent times. Mines was worked on a few times, but yeah, it's been one of those maps that they haven't looked at, which is why it's never. But it's
Supremacy.
that's about to say. That's one of the reasons why it's never turned into a supremacy map. Same with Mirage. Mirage is not a supremacy map.
Listen.
To be fair, I don't think Mines is big enough for a supremacy map. Like, it just doesn't feel.
No, it's not.
It's not. You're right. But it's supremacy. Why is supremacy being pushed so fucking hard?
Because it's a good game mode.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not that
really,
good.
It is.
We need other things. I mean, before it was only encounter, and now it's only supremacy. It's literally only supremacy.
I'm more surprised why encounter is still there. It's actually bad.
I love encounter.
The thing is,
I never play supremacy.
So let's compare this to PC, right? PC, you have multiple caps. You can have capture or kill order. You can have all that stuff. But the thing is, that's 15-person games. So you have an equal chance of winning by either killing all the people or capping. Here, you have a 7v7. So you are more likely going to kill everyone before you full cap if everyone are not Muppets.
I think. I personally think. I personally
Not
think.
just like that. It is a thing too where the cap get capped really fast.
No, the thing is,
Yeah.
I mean, I personally like both game modes, and
Against supremacy,
no,
I
but
mean, no,
let,
I
let,
don't-
whoa,
I
whoa,
don't
chill a minute. Let me make my point.
There's too much of it.
Let me make my point. Let me make my point.
yeah.
So I think personally, supremacy, in real terms, is the best tournament game mode you can ever have because it's strategic.
Preach.
It really is strategic.
Yes.
However, when it comes to random battles, I don't think supremacy is that great. The reason I don't think it's that great is because you're not able to coordinate more effectively with your team, which is why I prefer encounter.
Yes.
It's only supremacy. It's just boring, you know. We need more things. Like if it's encounter supremacy and other things, yeah, it's like it's only supremacy. That's the thing. It's
Yeah, see, I will
More
never
things.
play Supremacy alone. Like, if I'm tuning with a friend that I know knows what they're doing, then I'll go play Supremacy sometimes. Because then I'll be like, oh, we're both in Hellcats, let's go rush this cap it, go to the spawn, do this, that, and the other. Like, we can actually do things.
Yeah.
When people are alone, it's like, okay, I don't even know if this guy who's next to me is a Muppet or not.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, that's why I prefer encounter for random games, unless I'm tuning, and then I'll jump into supremacy quite happily. But even then, I would prefer to do random. I would prefer to do encounter. For tournament, supremacy is brilliant. It really is brilliant.
Yes.
It is, but we can't do anything else. We can't do defend.
See,
Defend is really OP, man.
Okay,
I mean,
okay. Imagine if Wargaming made a kind of S&D type of map, right? Where it's you got
We don't need that. Listen.
no. Okay, not S&D, not S&D. But like, there's a cap, and you get smaller games, but you have multiple rounds.
How about no caps? No caps.
Good night,
defend
Frank.
Once, and I defend once. How about
Yeah,
that?
exactly. Like games that have multiple rounds to them. I think as a separate playlist would be a benefit to those who want to learn the strategy, but don't want to have to deal with having singular games on a map that might not even come up in the rotation again for 5 hours.
But the reason why I say I wouldn't put encounter or non-supremacy in tournaments is because I like the idea of being able to put the opposition under cap pressure to make a move.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but there is the other ways. Okay, if you're defending, I have to kill you. If I don't kill you, I lose. That's the thing. You know what I mean? No caps. There's literally no caps. It's just me and you.
Yeah.
I have to kill you so I can win. If I don't kill you, I lose. That's fucking OP. That's brilliant because you don't need the caps.
Like, the thing with Defend Order
What
is...
strat do you do then? All those strats.
Okay, no, the thing with Defend Order,
Everything.
you
need
have...
to do everything.
Yeah, okay.
To get defense.
How
Yeah,
much
you need
Yeah,
to get
okay, look. Defending a position is as simple as it's camping. That's all it is. But you have to do it right, or else you're going to get smashed by people, by the offense at long range.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you have to think about. Where can I put up these tanks to make choke points? Where can I put this
so
tank
they can't
to use
push.
its gun depression? Where can I put... And then you have the offense who is like, okay, I'm in my light tank. Where do I need to be in order to give my team ample time to see them in order to engage?
Yeah, but then
Go for this, that, and the other.
but then I have visions of. Then I have visions. Hang on. Then I have visions of tier 1, and bear with me on this. You may think I'm being flippant. So, just guys, just do a reroll. Just buy any tier 1 tank, okay, and see what the gameplay is like with that. Everybody camps. You go out in Fort Despair. They all camp in the TD corners, and nothing happens for 5 minutes of the bloody game. And if you did that,
Okay.
that's a problem.
That
That's a
used to
problem.
be-
Let
to be
me make
fair,
a
that
point,
is
guys.
what used to
Yeah.
happen when the FE215B before it got nerfed. There would be tier 9 and tier 10 games where everyone would sit in their spawn because the enemy team has an FE215B and no one would want to do anything. Except the one guy who does, he gets heshed for 1800 and dies, and then still nobody wants to leave their spawn.
Yeah, but listen, Fugit,
Let me-
it is
guys,
not
guys.
camping. The defend game mode. It's not.
me
In
make-
defend game mode, it's not
You
as
need to do
simple
it right.
as okay,
Yeah,
camp
yeah,
spawn. There would be an objective that the enemy team would have to either A, destroy, or B, like it's kind of weird how PC does it, but you have to have as many tanks alive and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
so
cap.
it's
Guys,
kind of a cap,
guys.
but it's kind of not. But
Guys,
yeah,
first of all, the maps itself are too small to play the defensive mode. That's
No,
the
no,
point.
not
no.
necessarily.
No, they are. They are.
Why?
Okay.
Why?
For
They
example,
are too
like,
small.
look. For example, yes,
Primo
Mines
Four.
is too small. Oasis Palms is too small. But then you look at maps like Canal, which are freaking huge.
And
Yeah.
they are small.
Okay.
They are
Normandy.
small. No, they are
Normandy.
small. And Normandy are small.
Why?
No, yeah, Normandy is
Because
way
you can
Normandy
place
is too
your
small.
tank in the canal, in the Normandy. You can place one tank from the defensive side, which will spawn every map. Every point in the map, it will spot. This is the problem. This is the problem. So, to make the new modes, we need the bigger maps.
No,
Yeah,
listen,
okay,
listen.
but see,
Not
okay, my
necessarily,
thing
like,
isn't
listen.
necessarily.
It's the same
Second.
thing as supremacy. It's exactly the same
It's
thing.
not the
Listen,
same.
Let me tell you
It's
something.
not the same.
You
no,
push one
no,
side.
No,
Listen,
no, no,
just
no,
listen
no,
for
no,
one
no,
second.
no, no, no,
You
no, no,
push
no.
one side,
I
you
will
cap,
finish.
and then
Say
we
it.
wait
Я
for you.
закончу, ты поговоришь.
Ouch.
Закрой хавалку, пожалуйста. Окей? Я не закончу.
Don't rush into each other.
Second of all,
No, please.
you need to understand that you are not the ones who are making the decision, and you are not the ones who are capable to make the statement that, hey guys, you need to make this. You are just
Yeah, we
casual
understand that.
players. You are just casual players. Third of all, to make the statement that, hey guys, we need a new mode. You need to investigate the point why the new modes are not invented. And the thing why the new modes are not invented is the thing that the maps are too small to imagine something which can be played. The only one big map we have right now is the map in the gravity mode. This is the hell big map. This is the hell big map. And the
Okay,
thing
that is. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Also, the thing is, which everyone wasn't complaining. Imagine, yeah? For a second. There is a new mode, yeah? Like you said, the defense or whatever it is, yeah? With a capping to bases, whatever. Imagine 300 players making the reroll accounts, buying the tier, I don't know, 8 or tier 10, and go into these modes without a complete understanding what the fuck is going on. You will start again the complaining that, oh, Wargaming is so bad. You allowed players to
Okay,
play
okay, but-
tier 10.
There is an issue with that argument, though, because first off, that would assume that there would be enough people who would literally make a reroll just for the sake of buying a premium tank to go into the new mode.
CIS players making the reroll accounts every single month.
Yeah, because part of that reason, and I know a friend who does that, and part of the reason for that is he wants to get, you know, Unicum status. And he knows if he loses a bunch of battles early, well, there's really no point, and he may as well start another one. He won't go and buy premium tanks, though, because that's stupid, that's a waste of money. But
one more reason for the reroll accounts is just to make the reached battles. And I see very little people complaining about the reached battles.
And in fact, I see them on the EU region where I play. I can see them pretty often in the random battles. And
like the only issue that I have, well, the thing that I think would fix that is you could only buy a premium tank as long as you research something at that tier. Like
that's the good point.
That would stall the growth of all of these re-rolls and then immediately buying a tier 10, or some random tier 1 guy buying a crate and getting a WZ-111-5A.
That's the good point. But in this point, you need to understand Wargaming. Those idiots and those guys, you know, in the brackets, guys, you know what I want to say, but I don't want to be a swearer. Those guys are making a hell lot of money for the Wargaming. Make it simple is that those rerolls, those guys who want a 100% reroll account with I don't know 10,000 average damage on the tier 10s, to make these accounts they need to spend a hell lot of money for research, for the premium tanks, for the premium account, for the free experience. This is just the things which I can imagine in a second. There are even more, I believe.
Probably money for premium ammunition, credits, because credits are going to be...
True. Credits for the
purchase of the tanks to begin with.
True. You see? Wargaming will not...
and I understand that they need to make money. But I think that they also have to understand that they knew that this would have happened when they put premium tanks in for purchase.
And you think they don't know?
I'm saying I assume that I said that I assumed that they would have known that people would buy these tanks up without thought of their skill level.
Of course.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter to them because at the end of the day they're making money. But
true. The also thing is that the Wargaming are making money from selling those tanks, and the help which they get from the YouTubers is underrated. Because I know
yes,
a lot
it
of...
is very... Okay, I could say that, like, looking at Droodle's videos and looking at, like, Bushka when he did videos, and looking at, like, you know, all that, I just don't believe that Wargaming is getting enough credit where credit is due. Because I doubt that they would have near as much sales on premium tanks, especially the crate tanks, that they would have had, you know, Droodle's not said this about the vehicle, or Fugit say this, or Maidzy say this. It just wouldn't have made that much of a difference.
No, but they look at it a different way. They look at it that you know, not counting me because I earn jack squat from YouTube. But when you're in the realms of Pantu, Maidzy, Bushka, Skate, and Droodles, you earn money from the more viewers you get and the more subs you get. So they see it as a trade-off. Yeah, they see it as a trade-off.
I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm looking more at Wargaming is like, oh, if you reach this milestone, we'll give you a contributor and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, you guys are all free marketing for them.
Yeah, but they are, but they are also... See, a couple of things about contributor and all this sort of stuff. Contributor isn't about how many subs you've got or how much marketing you do. It's about other things. It's about you've got to be an ambassador. It's like being an ambassador for the game without being biased, so to speak. And you know, some YouTubers have fallen foul of that, where they've overstepped the mark. Let's say, I'm not mentioning any names. I don't need to.
Well, yeah, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Yes. And it's a fine line to tread. In the way Wargaming see it, like most companies would see it, is that, well, hang on a moment, you know, we're not asking you to do YouTube. You're doing YouTube on your own accord for your own reasons. You're getting paid for doing whatever you do on YouTube, be it monetization, Patreons or members or whatever. So without us, you wouldn't have YouTube to that extent either. So it's a sort of catch-22 in that respect.
That's very fair.
Now, I do agree with you to an extent. Without some of the influence being made by some of the YouTubers, then it's arguable that, you know, some of the stuff wouldn't come through to Wargaming. Yes, that's a good point, and it is a very good point. But again, they see it as a collaboration. You're earning, we're earning. Without you, we may not be earning as much. But without us, i.e. Wargaming, you probably wouldn't have this particular YouTube channel, so to speak. So it's a trade-off. It is a trade-off.
That I, on the account of YouTubers, is who here remembers back when the A20 had like 130 millimeters of HE pen?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Like, okay, that problem was a problem for about the entirety of 3 weeks.
Absolutely.
And the only reason that it was a problem for 3 weeks is at week 2, Bushka made a video on it, Medzi made a video on it, Droodles made a video on it, and you spoke about it a little bit on one of your streams.
The thing is, I spoke it on my stream because I didn't know about it.
Yeah, as soon as that happened, everyone in the community got super pissed at this tank, everyone was rolling about it, and then within 5 days, it got hotfixed out.
Oh, well, that happens a lot. That happens a lot.
Which tank are you talking about?
That's the tier 4 A20. It's
the tier 4 Russian light tank. It used to have like bonkers HE pen for like 3 weeks.
A32, yeah. I
No,
remember.
it was the A20, the tech tree version. They
A20 with the other gun, not with the.
Correct. They screwed up on the HE parameter.
Yeah, they gave it like more HE pen than the FE215B. Like, it was ridiculous. But the thing is, nobody was complaining about it until after everybody made videos about it.
But that happens a lot. That happens a lot. And I mean, I've got into trouble recently, not with Wargaming, but with other YouTubers, because I've refused, and I still refuse, to say the Annihilator is OP, and a lot of people have taken exception to that. And I say I've said it's powerful, but I'm not. I refuse to say it's OP, because for me, it's very rare for me to say a tank is OP. And the reason I say that is because I'll tell you a little story. The reason I do YouTube, the reason the YouTube for me came about, is because I was having trouble with the Leopard 1 back in the day, which is a notoriously difficult tank to play, okay, in tier 10.
Yes, it is.
So I was having trouble with this tank. So I finally turned to YouTube, and this would have been about 2016-ish. And I came across Bushka, and I came across Bushka's video on a Leo 1. And I can't remember who, it wasn't Bushka driving it, okay? And I can't remember who was driving it now.
Yes, oh my gosh. I know who you're talking about too, because, oh my god. This is going to bother me now, I'm looking this up.
But they threw this Leo 1 all over the place, literally. And they were doing like 6-7k damage or whatever it was, and playing it like an absolute animal. And I was like, yeah man, I can do this. No, I can't do this. I do not have that ability. So
you go to the internet and watch something, and it's like, oh my god, this is so awesome. And when you go to reality, you got disappointed.
I know, crazy, eh?
Basically porn.
See, okay,
so yeah.
Being someone who's had a...
But hang on. So I said to myself after that, I'm going to make a YouTube channel, but I'm going to make my channel for those players who are mere mortals like me, who can't do these amazing things with Leos, or I can't do the amazing things that Fatness does in a Sheridan, etc, etc. And I'm going to pitch my channel not to the pro players, but to those who are either complete and utter nabs or utter average people like me. And to average players, the Annihilator, guys, is not OP. Don't care what anybody says.
Personally, I don't think the Annihilator is that much better. Because, like, I have better... Okay, part of it to me is I just feel like I have to learn how to play it better. But like I can roll out in my IS2 Pravda SP and have constantly better games than when I run out in the Annihilator. Like I can run out in the Lupus, or I could run out in the Lycan, I can run out with the Hafen, and I could have consistently better games. But then as soon as I touch the Annihilator, I get focused, I get all this other stuff, because people have so much hate against the Annihilator.
No,
You donated for Pravda?
I actually play the Annihilator particularly well because I know how to play it. But I was quite lucky because if you remember, I did a Wargaming stream where we rolled out the Annihilator. Okay, so I got the tank. I got the tank a couple of days before it was released. So I got to roll out in this tank, and I got to learn this tank before anybody else, apart from the testers.
Yeah, and I think that is, in some respects, that is somewhat of a good thing, considering you're a content creator. But in other respects, I feel that is kind of, not necessarily a slap to the face of everyone else, but it really shows kind of where their priorities are.
Oh, it was a one-off. And the only reason I got it is because I was part of this stream and I had to use it to play against Blitzstig. But aside from that, it was a complete and utter one-off. And you know, I'm not a tester. I don't get to see the tanks or any of that sort of stuff. So that was it was just a perk for that particular stream, nothing else. So I get the tanks the same way you get the tanks. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I've got a press account on Asia and I've got a press account on EU. Saeed was with me earlier today. People have many times. Lockney has been around. Inman hasn't. Matthew has tuned with me. I've never played my press account on EU, not once yet. I've only recently got it about a month ago. I haven't played it yet. On Asia, Layla's in the chat. I very rarely play the press account on Asia. To be honest with you, I mean I could, but you're then seeing me without the trials and tribulations that I would have as a player. Now I use the press account if I'm going to do a review of a particular tank. But aside from that, I don't use it because on the press accounts, all your skills are maxed out, etc., etc. So you'll get when you see me play on NA and when you see me play on Asia, I've got the same trials and tribulations as every other player. I've got to grind the crew skills. I've got to grind the tanks. And everything's against me. It's the same with my EU account, And I could be one of those guys who says, well, I'm going to do countings and everything. Why would I use my account and wreck my win rate? I don't care about my win rate on my main account. I enjoy the game. And I will always tune with anybody who's in my chat and is a subscriber, blah, blah, blah. I'll always do that, regardless of their skill level, and it doesn't bother me in the slightest. So I don't get. I am an official CC now, but I don't get a lot of benefits from Wargaming. Not like the guys think. I mean, I don't get paid by them. I do get a special Discord where I get to talk and liaise directly with Wargaming, which is fantastic. It is fantastic. Because I'm a streamer of tournaments, I obviously get that perk as well. But I don't get new tanks and stuff like this. I may, as a CC, get a benefit where I get more things to give away, but that's about it, really. And it's not for me, that's to give away to you.
Now, along that with being said, the content creators, I do feel they bear some responsibility for the amount of premiums that are out in the wild to an extent. I'm not going to say what that extent is because I have no way of knowing what that extent is. But I think we can all agree here that to some extent, the content creators have a hand in the amount of premiums that are out.
Of course.
Now, and with that being said, I feel like they also have some responsibility for how everyone feels about the Annihilator.
Of course.
Of course.
Because I don't remember who did the video. I don't remember who did the video. It was either Pantoof or Medzi. But somebody put out a video saying freaking like, oh, Annihilator versus the Smasher, which one is more broken, blah blah blah. And the entire video was a 10-minute rant about how the Annihilator is by God's worse than it's worse and more broken than the Smasher. And it's like at that point, it's not really a comparison, I don't think.
I'll tell you more, man. I'll tell you more. I don't know how it works on EU server, but for the CIS region, I know that very good. That if you are taking the CC account and you are making some stuff with it, for example, you are making the crates opening, or you are making just a review on the tank, etc., etc. If Wargaming tells you that you need to say that this tank is good, you're
gonna have to say it, or you lose CC.
Or you're losing the CC, correct. And the thing is that for Annihilator, Wargaming said to say that this tank is good. However, it is 100% overrated.
Yeah, like, okay, I don't have a problem with people saying it's a good tank. I have no problem with people saying, oh, in the right hands, this can be broken. But I do believe that there are certain YouTubers who have gone to the overstepped to the extent of saying, oh, it's the most broken thing, blah blah blah, oh, it's the Smasher doesn't even compare, blah blah blah. And it's like at that point,
but you have to
reach that far.
But the thing is, you also have to remember. I mean, firstly, let me just say this as a caveat. I have no issue with any of the Blitz content creators. I think they're all fantastic. To be fair, I don't have any. I know, but I don't have any issues with any of them. I mean, they all do their own thing because it's their channel and it's up to them to do what they want to do. When you talk about some of the big guys, and when I say the big guys, I'm talking. Bushka has really taken a back foot nowadays. He hardly ever does anything Blitz now. He's a lot of PUBG. But so the big guys in Blitz are, for the English-speaking community at least, not on the CIS, it's going to be Meadsy, Pantu, Skate has taken a back foot, and Droodles. So the big three at the moment for reviews, I'm not talking because you've got Soft Rescue who does replays and other stuff, but the big three who do reviews and stuff is going to be Meadsy, Pantu, and Droodles. Now, they run their channels to cater for their community. Okay, simple as that. So their community wants to know which tank is broken, which tank isn't broken, which tank should I get, which tank shouldn't I get, and that is what they will continue to give. And I had this argument with somebody yesterday. Somebody said, "Why isn't Meadsy, Pantu, or Droodles doing, making videos about tournaments?" Because their community, necessarily, the majority of the community aren't interested in tournaments. So until that community that they have changes, they are going to continue to do content that is absolutely geared for their community. Martin Dogger is another one of them, the tank killer without no name. You're very true. So they are going to do content that is centered around their community. Now, these guys, Meadsy, most definitely, it's a business for him, realistically. It's his livelihood. And, you can't ever knock Meadsy because he does it because it really is his livelihood. He earns money from it, and he earns good money from it. And, if he were to lose YouTube or something were to go wrong, it would really hurt him. So Meadsy, always be in mind, Meadsy will do things because, one, he loves doing it. He loves doing YouTube and he loves doing the content that he does. But he's also doing it because it keeps him and his family afloat, which is a really good thing. Pantu is a student and he does it for revenue as well. And no doubt Droodles does also. I'm a bit different because I've got a very good job. Okay, I've got a very good salary. I'm pretty much comfortable. So I don't do YouTube for money. Yeah, it's my hobby, so to speak, and I love every minute of it. So with that in mind, I don't need to do similar videos to them, okay, and similar content to them. I mean, my sub count goes up and down, left, right, and centre, and it's like, okay, it's gone up, okay, it's gone down, and it doesn't have a massive impact upon me like it would those three. So they've got to toe this very, very delicate line, because they rely on the revenue, they really do, and they you know, a lot of people have raged about Pantu, and I don't, because he's really good at what he does. He's a great marketer. He knows how to market himself, and he knows how to entertain. You cannot take those things away from him.
I can agree with that.
Meadsy knows how to entertain people, guys. He really does. He knows what people are looking for, and he knows how to entertain them. Droodles, well, Droodles is a sort of mix between Pantu and Meadsy, to be fair. And he's got a big following very quickly. Yeah, he's got a big following. He's got it very quickly. You know, and he's like all of them. You either love him or you loathe him. And it's the same with most of them. And I think all of them, in their own way, have got something special, which is why they've got thousands upon thousands of subscribers. I've only got 4,000 something. I haven't got 50,000 like Meadsy, 30,000 like Droodles, 20,000 or whatever, or close to 30,000 like Pantu. So they're doing something right. They're doing something right. Simple as that. But I will never change. And I will never say a tank is broken or is OP, because I would say that majority of the player base will never play those tanks to that level. That's why I don't do it. It's the only reason.
I mean, okay, and to be fair, I understand that it's a livelihood for most of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I do also feel that the content creators should have some responsibility for the things that are coming out of their mouth. To an extent. I mean, okay, I'm not saying that they should always 100% agree and whatever, but I do feel that they should have some responsibility, knowing the effect of what they say will have on their community and what it may or may not drive them to do, in terms of buying premium tanks, which then again they will complain about. Oh, why are these tier 1 players driving out in these tier 8 premiums? Well, because you may or may not have said it's an OP tank and that you should go buy it, if that makes sense.
No, that does make sense, but they're doing it because it's what their community wants to know. Their community wants to know, should I get this tank, yes or no? And they're not lying to anybody. So when Meadsy or Pantu or Droodles say this tank is OP, they're not lying, they're not misleading you, they're telling you the truth. But it does have a knock-on effect. But the knock-on effect, I mean, it's going to be there because they have so many followers. It's like that. If they were lying to you and telling you a tank was broken when it isn't, then yeah, you're right. They have a responsibility. They are influencers, which is a word I hate, because you know, YouTube is a powerful tool. It is a powerful tool. In the wrong hands, it can be a dangerous tool. But I think, regardless of what you may think of Meadsy or Pantu or Droodles, I don't think necessarily they're the wrong hands. Personally, Pantu's had a.
I don't believe that either.
I mean, Pantu has had a rough time from members of the community, and as far as I'm concerned, he's only ever really made one glaring error. Everything else, he's done it for what they call clickbait, which isn't a bad thing if you want to be a successful YouTuber.
If you know what you're doing and you know how not to be misleading with it,
yeah,
it's a great tool for views.
But in my view, Pantu did fuck up once, and it wasn't when he gave his tanks away to his members. It was reaction that he had after that, which he then addressed. Rolling was a clickbait. Moreover than anything.
Not really that. He was literally trash talking about you.
Rolling, he was either he was kind of bipolar in how he did things. He was either extremely clickbait or extremely not. There really wasn't a middle ground with him.
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I took exception to what he said about rolling, and if that video is still there or whatever, I actually went in there and corrected him and said, "You're wrong. You're out of order." Blah blah blah. I mean, I love Rolling Swarm. I think Brian is by far, and this is coming from me, who's trying to make a break in the tournament scene, by far the best commentator you'll ever get for Blitz tournaments.
The best beer.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and I love him to bits. And I was pretty upset with the video that Pants did, but on the same token, deep down, I know he's not like that. I know he's not a nasty person, and I know.
Oh no, and I don't believe for a second any of them are doing it intentionally to be intentional. Like
No.
I don't believe for a second that people went out. Like when I saw the video of like it was Medzi simping for Drools or something like that. I looked at it and I was just confused.
Yeah, it's clickbait.
I wasn't.
It's clickbait.
Yeah, and then as soon as Droodle's stream went up, I was watching Droodle's stream, and for the first like 2 hours, it was just simp spam in the chat, and I'm like, why?
But this is the thing.
What's the point?
But this is my point. I mean, regardless of what you may think of these guys, they are good entertainers. Because if they weren't good entertainers, then they wouldn't have the. Nobody would watch them, and they wouldn't have the subs that they've got. So don't just think that because they're putting a video out doing X, Y, and Z, that this is their true reflection. Okay, it's not. They're entertainers, and they are entertaining their community. And I've always believed that of Pantherfleet. I've always believed I bet you in real life he's a beautiful guy. And what you're seeing is his YouTube persona. Two different things. And I know
I feel like it's the same thing with like Dr. Disrespect, where he outside of Twitch is a completely different person than
absolutely
the angry old sod that he is on stream.
Absolutely.
And I feel like if you can do that and be able to live those lives separately, good on you, go ahead, do it. No, more power to you.
Yeah.
But then you get people who the persona that they put up ends up consuming their life, and that is their life.
Yeah.
And
but don't get me wrong.
At that point, I feel they should take responsibility.
Yeah, but don't misunderstand me. I mean, I'm all for the entertainer, and I'm all for X, Y, and Z. But sometimes there are lines that should never be crossed. And yeah, Pantu crossed a line with Pantu did cross a line with Rolling, but we all had the opportunity to say something. And I believe those who knew what was going on and didn't agree with Pantu got the opportunity to say that, which was the right thing to do. Because he
and the fact that Pantoof ended up going back and saying that he messed up.
Absolutely. And
eventually.
You know, so they don't ever take away from them. They are great entertainers. And with that, we've been streaming now for about 3 hours. 2.5 hours. So I'm going to wrap it up because I need some food. But no, I mean they are. I mean, but just one last thing. Yeah, to an extent, the YouTubers are influencers, but on the same extent, you have to take into account that they are churning out content that their community wants to hear, and they're not misleading or lying to anybody. They're what you get from Meadsy, what you get moreover from Meadsy, and I'll guarantee you this: whatever you see from Meadsy is 100% from his heart. Okay. And a lot of people have turned around and said, "Oh, but Meadsy said this and Meadsy." No. What you hear in Meadsy's videos is 100%. Okay.
Smart enough to lie.
Say again.
He's not smart enough to lie. He's simple.
He's a great guy. I've never met him in real life.
He's a simple guy.
Awesome guy.
I've never met him in real life, but he's a lovely guy. He really is a lovely guy. Okay. I've spoken to him outside of Blitz on Discord and stuff. This guy has not got. I'm telling you guys for a fact, he has not got an evil bone in his body, and he has not got anything. I mean, I've seen a lot of shit has been thrown at Meadsy for a lot of various things. He hasn't got a horrible bone in his body. I'm telling you. And what he puts out, he does it from the top of his head and from his heart, and he doesn't do it to scam anybody or whatever. Pantu is a great entertainer. He's a fantastic entertainer. If you watch any of his videos, he changes the intro every video, and you look at him and think, God, this guy's a complete idiot. That's because he's a great entertainer. He really is.
I mean, this is why a lot of my friends affectionately call him the Muppet of the crew.
Yes.
At the end of the day, he's an entertainer. He doesn't care. Well, he cares about his skill. Don't get me wrong, but skill at the end of the day isn't the main priority. It's entertaining, or it's giving a review, or it's giving this, that, or the other. But at the end of the day, that's what he does, and that's what he's good at.
Absolutely, and this is the thing. I mean, all of them, they are very good entertainers. It's as simple as that. And with that, I'm going to go and get some food. we had a lot of people. We had a lot of people in the chat. Say again, who was that?
What are you having?
I'm actually having a Chinese chicken curry. Funnily enough.
I never heard of
That's what I had. That's what I had yesterday for my birthday.
Well, if you lived in England, mate, you'd know what a Chinese chicken curry is. It's not Chinese.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I made curry yesterday, so yeah.
You're not Chinese, are you?
Niha. Thank you for giving me your ING. There's not much I can do with it, mate. But thank you anyway. This is not a reward stream. You're not going to get keys here. Sorry. Keys are on Friday for the EU stream. And if you're looking for a giveaway, that's something else. And that's only when I hit 5,000 subscribers, which is 300 and something away now. God, it's getting close, isn't it? Eek.
You'll have it.
Yo, everybody, time to make your alt YouTube accounts to sub to Fugit. Let's go. Let's get it done.
Damn, man, I'm only like 377 away. Oof.
I could probably knock out 40 in the next 2 hours.
My God. And then I have to give lots of gold away. Eek. Oh, well. Anyway.
Maybe you'll have it before Christmas.
Anyway, one thing I do like about these coffee chats, regardless of what anybody says, this community, realistically, I mean, the Blitz community, Cougar, how do we get keys? I don't know. If that's Cougar from Immor, I don't know. Stand somewhere in a hope for the best. I think that is Cougar from Immor, and I don't know. Actually, Cougar, the way you to get keys is wait till Friday. And then watch myself in Amunet on the EU. And then you may be lucky to get some keys some stage. I don't know when. And if you're in Asia,
or be like me and you'll get like 100 or so keys because of the glitch that happened.
But if you're in Asia, Cougar, you may get more keys than you deserve. I got 275. But the buggers took them all away. What can I do?
Oh, it's not only in Asia. It's also in the UN.
Oh, is it? Is it? That's crazy, man.
I got mine on a CIS stream.
Mad.
I still have keys left. Well, I had 5 when I started, but.
Thank you, Ram. So yeah, I mean, I was about to say it's I know people talk over each other, and I know it gets a bit heated, but it just goes to show that people are passionate about this game still, which is a real good plus. It really is.
It really is, yeah.
I'm just here for the maths.
And before we go, I mean, I'm gonna drag Maddox into this conversation because he's thinking of getting actively involved in the community at some stage, which I can't wait for.
Yeah.
If things doesn't work out.
See?
Actually, even if things work out, I'm actually going to start getting a bit active in the community.
You see? See, I can't wait.
Do we have an extra million?
Not on the YouTube side of things, for sure. I'm trying to do something. I'm something. Let's just say it's exciting for the planet.
Exactly.
I would say.
And I can't wait personally. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Don't worry, I'm actually going to be making sure community contributors going to get a pie in this for sure. Because I really want this project to succeed on my own. At least my project to succeed. So those who are curious about this, I can let you a little secret on this, but so what I'm trying to do right now is something between the lines of something similar to building the big community, helping everybody, helping Discord Discord servers build their communities. So but like based on Blitz, the game itself. So what you can expect is something like along the lines of oh, so actually, yeah, I actually should.
you can say
I
it.
think that let me try to organize this because I have actually been told about how to promote this, to be honest. But it's gonna be one of the features would be you're able to like just various stuff by Discord bot. I'm gonna create. So
Right, Lena.
if you heard of Serbot,
Mhm.
actually I was the creator of that bot.
Wow.
So what I want to do with that bot is I want to make it so that it sort of helps this it sort of helps server owners to manage their own servers, but add in fun twists for the Blitz game itself. So for example, if you can do something like let's say I want to assign a role for a player, but I don't want to manually go check the stats or manually go check where he plays. So you can use Serbot to do that, to automatically help assign roles for that player. Or another thing would be promoting your server, because you know that thing is really hard in Discord. So what you can do is promote on Serbot. What Serbot can do is if a player wants to join it, you can just click one button and it automatically brings them to the Discord of whatever that you're doing.
Oh wow.
So I want to make Serbot into something more like a hybrid between BitStars, a bit like a social media, I guess, maybe. I'm not sure yet, but and also a bit of replay stuff. So I want to do with it as well. So
Nice.
it's gonna be able to you'll be able to share replays easily.
Nada, me and Fizzy were working on a feature. Let's
Sorry?
hope me and Fizzy were working on a feature. I hope that doesn't like end up the same.
What kind of feature?
We can talk in private.
Yeah, we can definitely talk about it. I'm looking with some people to chime in ideas if they can.
I would
but, like,
really hope for some help. I don't want any credits. I just want to see it in fruition. Like that's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, I do. I have a big it's a really big like I think it's a very ambitious project. I don't even know if I can actually finish it.
Wow. This is the problem.
It's a very big and ambitious project, but I have an idea of how I want it to be done.
See, the clever people are now talking, so that's the problem.
In the worst.
It's
been for like a year.
Like I'm currently looking at web page. I'm starting off with the web page already, but like I've stopped because I was trying to finish my projects with my degree. But like now I've got that out of the way, I'm able to start focusing on it alongside the tournaments.
Oh wow.
What are you studying?
I'm studying computer science in Australia.
Good, awesome. So most of the things that you are studying are what is it?
I know what. Yeah. So basically just
Outdated or
computer programming.
Like there's in computer science, most of the time, the things that you are studying either outdated or basics.
Yes.
Yep. I can agree with that.
It's either. but that's the point.
No, the basics are really helpful.
The basics really helpful. Can't deny that.
Well, y'all, it's been fun talking to you.
Absolutely. Well,
so.
the last thing I want to say before I go, it'll be for next week's coffee chat to discuss is those of you who are aware, Umfinjani is dropping tournaments. You may not know this guy. Maddox will know him. Inman definitely knows him.
Really?
He's backing away from the tournament scene completely. Which is a big loss on the CIS server, to be fair. A big loss. So, something to ponder for next week. And with that, Sheridan's getting, its missiles are going. Rolling Sworn may be back. Umfinjani is now leaving.
I think he's back. I think Rolling's already back, isn't it?
He's just posted in his Discord that he is going to
I'm
be
pretty
back.
sure he's back. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You see, he's back. Ba ba ba.
I didn't,
We made it!
I didn't expect him to be back.
Yeah. I no. I was expecting
No,
to
no,
just
what I
gone,
did
gone,
is-
for, gone for good.
I owe him a gift, and now I don't have enough time to make it.
Oh wow, now you're screwed.
So let's see.
Mhm.
You know?
Oh, there you go. There you go. So he's going to come back. There you go. That's what we like to hear. And with that, I'm going to go and get something to eat. Guys on YouTube, thank you for joining. Guys in Discord, thank you for joining. It's been great as always. And wow, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'll be back in later on the EU server. And I mean later, not now. Later. To do normal things that we do on a Sunday, which is countings and tunes. So until then, enjoy your Sunday and I'll catch you all soon. Thanks for joining. Bye for now.
See you, Fugit.
Bye. Yeah, take care and Fugit. Have a nice meal.
Hey guys, I wanted Fuji to turn off the video just to tell you one